Not in the business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. We coming, Where's the we coming? As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. Anywhere we meet up, stick. Where's the we coming? Yeah, we coming, yeah, we coming. Chopra ya limie, ye pa kukwebo. Chopra ya limie, ye pa kukwebo. Tabla kapae, kapa kutaito. Tabla kapae, kapa kutaito. Hello, 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 hello. Ne program roman tenga ko momi ne program to ekpa. Hey! Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Munel Kishan, aka the General, and I want to extend my sympathy to the Win family, to Win Christmas Sally family. And we know you guys know Win Christmas. A lot of people know who Christmas is. He was all on Facebook. He's an advocate, and he was one of those who was all in New York concerning the war crime code, and then went back to CDC. He's a seditious, and Christmas was not in a good health. But death, no matter what happened, you can't stop it. No one can stop death. But whenever anyone that I know, I came across City in 28 and 17 when he was in the army. By then he was stationed in Japan, and he used to come on my show. Well, that's death. Everybody going to face it one day. Every life is important. Guys, please like the show before you share it. I got 19 person watching me. If you can just like it, I will appreciate it. Not to even love it, but like it. Like is good because the more you like the show, the better it stay in a better place for other people to watch. You understand? And also share it. I will appreciate it. I don't think it will take you anything to share it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I can see people doing that right now. So, and so one guy said, nobody need to talk about politics today because Wincelli passed. I said, no matter what, life got to goes on. Life got to continue. It got to go on no matter what. We sad. It's sad, but you understand Liberia, and in Liberia, we lost 29 Liberians the other day. And through on a day where they were having a crusade, and we lost 9 lives, including a pregnant woman. So I think it's 30 because that baby passed too. So I think it might be 30. But we will be touching on a lot of things today. But I just want to clear that one. This show is dedicated to Sunday. I'm sorry, I call it Sunday all the time. Christmas. Everyone know his Christmas name. Day is on Sunday, December 20th. I'm not talking to you, Siri. I'm not talking to you. I said Christmas. She's going to tell me Christmas Day fair on Sunday and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so today we will be touching on CDC and George Weah. We'll be touching on the NEC boss. And also we'll be talking about JNB. And we'll be talking about some of the responses that came out against George Weah concerning the State of the Nation address by President George Manning Weah. We will talk about it. And we will talk about ANC. And we'll talk about the case. We'll continue to say it. We'll continue to let people to know what is going on. So please share this video. And guys, let me say this to you. Liberians, We're quick to forget. We are very, very quick. You see, my glasses is twist. Since I broke it, to go to the eyeglass place now to change it, that wall, but I can still see with it. We're quick to forget. Very, very quick in forgetting. Little thing. Today, the chiefs said, one of the chiefs said, oh, Joshua should be your lifetime president because they gave them 10 motorbikes and they gave each one of them ambulance and I think 2 pickups. Liberian people, Liberian people. When we tell you that because of the corruption in Liberia, that is why Liberia is at this point. You know, all our role models in Liberia was corrupt. So everybody who going into government, they so corrupt. What they do? Because of the past corruption, it continue into the present corruption. I remember when Charles Taylor was president. Charles Taylor was the first person I saw doing this. Charles Taylor gave bus to some orphanage home and also to the police. No, I don't know if he gave the police, but on the bus they said donated by Charles Gange Taylor. They never said president of Liberia, just said donated by Charles Gange Taylor. Maybe he purchased it on his own or whatsoever. Now, today, President Weah gave motorbikes, trucks, and ambulance to all the chiefs, the county officials, and gave each county one ambulance. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. But what President Weah should know is that is government money. But on there, they wrote donated by the president of Liberia. Why they couldn't say donated by the government of Liberia? Or why it was not given by GSA? But Liberians clapping. That is taxpayer money. That taxpayer money is not George Weah personal thing. It's not George Mane Weah, president of the Republic of Liberia, personal money that he took. The campaign have started. Joshua have launched his campaign already, using government resources, giving it to seditionists from other counties. Every one of them are seditionists. They're not no official. They are seditionists. Now they're going out there to spread the news. You listen to this president. Look, it's sad. When you say this, other people say, but any other people did it. And Ellen Johnson took the money and ran campaign too. You see, course, it's corruption. What are the is bad yesterday? It was bad yesterday, it's bad today. That is pure oppositions. Well, the oppositions, most of them now, they are in the packet. But I will speak to Alex Cummings and the ANC and the other good ones. We must spread this message. Liberians, you elected a president to take Liberia from one point to another point. But yet, we're going backward. This president won re-elections. He want to be re-elected. But you look at his past job, his work, he's all over the place. Putting one market there, one this, put quota on this other road, and they say they're doing development. Why our Liberian people are dying from starvation, dying from jobs, dying from healthcare. And this president have not done anything. We will personalize it because he personalized everything. The president is not a chief procurement officer of Liberia. We got GSA. But this president put his name on all the bikes donated by President George Mane Weah. All the bikes. The legislature have not said nothing. They passed a budget. This money now government money. Everything this president got to purchase. Everything the president will go and purchase. What we got GSA for? Why we got a ministry of public works? Why we got all these different ministries? They shut the government down today because this president had to go give motorbikes out to people. Even if this president want to do that, he can just call the GSA boss and say, like, look, all this money the president took and do whatsoever. If the president want to be good, We need 73 ambulances, not 15. But some people now who don't know, they will say, well, at least he gave a some. Every county got one ambulance. One ambulance can solve a county problem. Even the motorbikes, 10 motorbikes can solve the county problem. And that means you need 73 pickups. Every district need to get a pickup. Suppose say, oh, but what about the legislators? What are they supposed to do? Where the money coming from? That government money. Now the campaign have started. Nobody saying nothing. That is why now the opposition or the legislators, these are things that are supposed to be given by government. Now that Joshua name on it. All the promises Joshua making made in his State of Nation address. We build small school, mini stadium. We build this one. He promising them because election is around the corner. We need to speak out. It's okay for seditions because they are the one who want to be re-elected. So it's okay for them. It's okay for them. While we still fighting in the CPP, while some of them still happy that they're going to testify. But we'll get there. Don't worry. George Weah running Liberia like a club, like a social club. It's a one-man show. One-man show. Using government money and pretending as if that's his own thing. Because election is right around the corner. Next year is election. So he gave it to they go. You know what the other man said? George, we need to be your lifetime president. I said it before, and I told you about the chiefs and the OO people. That is how Tottenham treated them before. And when you go to them, now they go into the children and say, hey, you don't see the president get all one car. The president get all motorbike. So that motorbike, we got to vote for the president. They're damaging our children's future. That the old people know, that the chiefs, damaging our children's future. Because their future gone already. Gone. Everything is the president. Let's go to this president's speech. The president said the economy is good. Everything that the president talked about was good. There was no fault. Even the great United States we live in, when they give in a message, they will tell you we have problem in this, we're improving in this, and this is what we want to do. This president never told the Senate, the House, and the Liberian people all the promises from the last speech, which one accomplished and which one I accomplished. This president gave us stories. Go and see Tottenham High, stay the same. D12 stay the same, but the president told us that they're renovating these schools. The president said it. The president even mentioned the trophy that he won from the county meet. These are all the achievements. The president lied and all he said Joe Biden invited him. It was the Zoom that they invited all the country, this last conference, that you got to stay in your country and go on Zoom and speak. All countries have to be invited. It's not a news. My people, Liberians, the old politicians know that they think that Liberians are still stupid. They say your vote according to ranks. They say Liberian people can vote. If you take second in this election, you will come first later on. Anytime you take second in election, your chances of winning. You're sorry. You're sorry. They say if you take second in an election, if you take second in any elections, that means you will win the next election. Liberians, you put your foot down. You put your foot down. This coming 2023, the Liberian man, the old people got a parable. The old people got a parable. They said, my camera, hold on, let me see, hold on 1 minute. They got a parable. You in a little town, the sun is hot, 12 o'clock. The place is so small. You looking for this car. It's a black Mercedes, black. You can't find it. That in the night you find it. You can't find it in the day at the night time. 6 years for a president, first term. He gone 4 years. You still crying and you say things are good. The economy is good, but you say the people are still suffering. This president could not even tell us about hospital, security, people are dying. The president mentioned nothing. All the president know is to develop Liberia. To develop Liberia. Yes. 30 pickups. 30 pickups, 150 bikes, 15 ambulances. Yeah. They said that what he promised them during the county tour. So each county get 2 pickups and an ambulance and 10 motorbikes. But we got 73 districts. Is this what the president's supposed to be doing by this time? Eh? Tell us, is this what the president's supposed to be doing? That's not his job. He's the president, will still be, his name will still be on it. But he want to put his face there. And they put on the bikes donated by President Weah. So it's not the government. It was done by President Weah himself. Eh? You won't tell me that President Weah 1 year's salary. Let's say, because what do we say? He took his salary and bought bikes for government. But you see, it always happening. That is what been happening in Liberia. He's not the first. He's not the first. A lot of people, former presidents, they use the government money, they say it's for them. So everybody following the same footsteps. That is why they don't want to see Mr. Cummings. That is why they don't want to see Mr. Cummings, because it will not work under the Cummings administration. I can tell anybody, look, like this video. I'm 60% watching, but only 14 like the video so far. Don't forget, just do it for God's sake. Let us work like a team now. Even if you don't like me, forget about me. Forget about me. Like the video. Please. I'm up here. You need to encourage me to like the video, share the video. It will be better for every one of us. I'm going to beg you now. Okay, I will come to the house and sweep the yard. Just like the video. Yeah. Look how you're running. All of y'all, you know your finger too fast. Look how you're going to 20, going all 21. You see, that is why I'm supporting Mr. Cummings. I have interacted with Mr. Cummings. I have seen the integrity, the honesty in him. Look, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know if someone is honest. If you ever follow Mr. Cummings from 2017 to present, he is the most consistent politician in our history. What he said 2017, he's still saying it today, or he improved on it. He's not flip-flopping. Yesterday, he would say, okay, we need to take a walk. But today, if he talk about take a walk, either we say, I think we need to run. That means he just upgraded his platform. That's the only man that telling us, if you listen to it, look, you can say what you want to say. But I will tell you, there are people that we know. Look, do you know why I'm fired up? I come on Facebook all the time to talk. You know why? I will be honest with you. I got more encouragement from people in America, I will tell you. But what really keep me motivated, people call me from Liberia that I don't know and tell me, oh, my man, I watched your show yesterday. Oh, my name is so. Continue. Continue the message. We show it will work. People who work in this government say, remember, we can't talk. Some of us say we can't say nothing. That is why you see fire me up, that I'm still coming on. If there are only people from America calling me to be friend by this time, I discouraged. I won't lie to you. because you're in America. You're in America, you're not in Liberia. But because I receive messages from Liberia, that is why I'm always on this platform. Whether 10 person watching me, whether 2 person watching me, I'm always on it. And the message going. The message going. We all doing it together. It's not me alone. You doing it, I'm doing it, you share it, I'm talking it, we're doing it. I'm not perfect man, but I try to give the message the best way possible. I'm trying to, I want you to look through my eyes and see what I'm talking about. Look at all the politicians. Forget about UPs, the few handful of UP people. Forget about the handful of UP and ANC and ALP people. I'm telling you, just forget about that. This election is our lifeline. When I say lifeline, either we respect Liberians for the rest of our life or do not respect Liberians anymore. Either Liberia make the decision for the future or just let Liberia to be the way it's supposed to be. Maybe somebody else will take the mantle, but who will not be there doing it? Seriously. It's sad to see the way our officials treat the citizen. You government official, by the time you up there, you forget about the people you want to represent. President we are doing the same thing. It's all about President we are showing off with all his luxury cars, showing this other one, showing that other one, why the people are suffering. And you know these people happen. Oh, they see it, they say, yeah, the president. Oh, God will bless the president. Everybody say God bless president. Everybody. But you telling me the president doing a good job? The president is all about himself. Then what are the other people doing? What they doing? What are they doing, my people? You tell me. What they doing? Their entire mind is to cheat and rob Liberians again of election. Now, let me tell you about the NEC boss. But you know, Deviata Brown, she into a situation like Mo Ali says she cannot handle. And let me tell you what they did. They know that she's corrupt. They know very well. Do you know why? Let me ask you. The first thing, why the national how they call themselves, the GSC, the General Auditing Commission, why they can't audit the Ministry of State? Why they can't audit Finance Ministry? Why they can't audit certain ministries that the president got interest in? But they went and audited. They went to NEC. They went to NEC to tie her up because 2020, Deviata Brown was supposed to change results, whether she like it or not. She was supposed to take the blame, but she saw nothing there to change. There was nothing on it to change. So they were not happy with her. Now they got her into the position where she ain't got no choice. So what they're telling her now, and I'm giving you a 100% information. And this, when you see me talk, when you see me talking certain thing, that somebody not giving the info, say talk about it, because that is what Miguel and other people say. Yes, we get you, or you will go to jail. But let me tell you, Deviata Brown, don't put your people in harm's way. Election brought war to Liberia, and sometimes it's not good. Let George Weah jail you because you committed a crime. If the crime that you commit, if it's a genuine crime, then you must take the pain, you must take the punishment. But if you think on election, because guess what? They're not going to remove her. Their plans, they will not remove her. They're not removing her. They wanted to remove her first, but they got her into the place and they're telling her you must deliver. So, come 2023, she will be the scapegoat to make some bogus announcement or to do things. They even planning how to suppress the voters. There should be police all over the place. They are planning of recruiting police, special police for elections. Listen, please like this video, please. They are recruiting special police for elections. Majority of that police, in fact, 95% of the police for only the elections will be seditious. They will be assigned to every police center for law and order. They will arrest you. When they can do this, anything they can do, that's it. You need to speak out. These are the plans. President Weah will come out and say one thing, and people behind the scene. Let me tell you how politicians work. It's all over the world. If anybody know the war between Israel and Egypt, while Israel and Egypt were in a dialogue to break peace, at that time they had a defense minister of Israel called Moshe Dayan. While they were in that meeting, Egypt had 160 jet bombers on the runway, was getting ready to pick up to Israel. But they stopped. While they were in that meeting, Moshe Dayan gave the order that no plane should get in the air. And there was a lady who went on that mission, and she went into Cairo and blasted every jet bomber that were on the ground because if Egypt was going to pick up, it was going to be a disaster. While they were in meeting, that's why they will tell you, say, in times of war, prepare for peace. In times for peace, prepare for war. We're saying it now. You ain't believe it. We said a few days ago that the government was behind Joseph Boakai to testify. But look, y'all will be making a wrong mistake. The biggest mistake in the history that with Joseph Boakai would live with it for the rest of his life. He will be cross-examined. You know that. Let me tell you something. When you bring a witness, the witness is not for one person. I can be your witness, and the opposing lawyer will ask me question. Y'all listen to the lawyer. When that man finished with Boakai will ever regret why he ever be a witness. Let Boakai go and testify. And your UP people, y'all get beat more if y'all say Boakai should go testify. Let Boakai be state witness for the government. Let him be a state witness. Let Yombly second go there. But you know why they're not behind Yombly? Because the government know that Yombly is not the political leader of Liberty Party anymore. These people are all liars. They are all liars. Now, Boakai going to testify. The government asking, he has not agreed yet. Don't get me wrong. He's still contemplating whether I should go or whether I shouldn't go. Or I should go, I shouldn't go. I got 72 person watching me. I got 31 like. And I got maybe one person there. They didn't like it. Okay. Krubo didn't like it. He laughed about it. That's all. Okay. Love. I got Emmanuel Williams and Richard Cummings. Richard Cummings, you love it, but you don't like it. So like it. And like it. So the other person who laughing, I can't be look at it. Kobo, what? Krubo, I can't be follow your profile. If you just laughing and you're not my friend, I'm gonna take you off my page. Now this time now we gotta act the way it's supposed to be. I can't to take you off because it's a public space, right? I'm in a public space, so you're free to watch me, but I will take you off and I will block you completely. Since you're only laughing, we're all liking it. You can laugh and like it. And, you can laugh at me, then you like it. Nah, nothing. We're all in it. So Joseph Boakai going to testify for government. He's the government witness. Suppose, oh no, they subpoena him and they just subpoena Omer for the Omer to come and testify. But one thing I know, we got a lawyer too. The lawyer will have to cross-examine Mr. Boakai. And that's the good thing. The lawyer will cross-examine Mr. Boakai. You see? Cross-examine Mr. Boakai and he will answer question. And in fact, I saw a UP post. Someone from UP posted something. In fact, And Amos Colley posted something because he's a Joe Walker supporter, that Joe Walker should testify with camera. They want camera in the court for Joe Walker to testify on a camera. So fine. Joe Walker can go behind the stand and go testify. Now, let me say this, my people. When we say this case, that cartoon, that what librarian can say, that cartoon, that's not case. That's not case. In fact, I just got an information. You know, they sue Mr. Cummings and Ability, but they threw it outside. They threw it out of case. They were trying to hold Mr. Cummings and Ability responsible for what happens at Capitol Building. Because everything that happened in Liberia right now, that Mr. Cummings and the people who supported Mr. Cummings, everything that going on right now is Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings. Now, my people, let me break the whole thing down for you. You're listening to Mr. Ure the other day. Mr. Ure said, yes, the lawyer did the amendment. We all, then he looked at Yombly, he said, we all agree, eh? And the lawyer did the amendment. And he did give us copy. The amended copies. He gave us copies. But in a same interview, he said, we gave Mr. Cummings 5 copies. But he never gave us our own copy of the notarized copy. You see, sometimes when you lie, you know how to lie. Listen, Dynamic say, I will play that tape again. He said, yes, we did an amendment. The lawyer did give us copy. But then Mr. Ure say again, oh, they gave us copy. Mr. Cummings didn't give us nothing. Okay. Then he said, somebody from NEC called me and said they pay your brother photocopy. So he checked it. He said, that document different. Oh. Okay. Let's agree the document different. But the one that we saw and the one that they're driven, they didn't bring it. Okay. But then again, the same Mr. Ure said on the Costa show that where you got your source from, he said, I was watching TV. You know, one of the talk show, I was watching it. Where they put that talking, nobody can leave and nobody can leave and nobody. So I said, So I went the next day, I called the chairman. I said, please bring all the document you got there. Then I look at the document and then I can see in there where they say you cannot leave. That is see me who say he get document. Okay. If you actually got the document that say you can leave anytime, publish it for us to see it. So we can know that Mr. Cummings lying. Okay. Then the chief surrogate and the professional liar and who don't know how to lie too good, he came out and said, oh, I got a bombshell. He said, this is the minutes. He said, this is the minute. He reading his own blank phone. That's a blank phone he reading it. Yombly received, but he don't know. Yombly went to NEC and requested for copy of the document. And Yombly gave it to, and the NEC gave it to Yombly. But guess what? NEC gave photocopy to Yombly. My people, if you in an office, let's say you come to me and you in the office, you say, hey, Mooney, you know that document I gave you? I lost my copy. Can you give me copy? Don't you think I would just photocopy and give it to you? But the verse again, they say they gave photocopy. Good. Then he started reading, fooling his 2,000 or 4,000 supporters or 10,000 supporters, fooling everyone on it because to show that a lot of Liberians, we are stupid. We don't read for ourselves. We don't decide for ourselves. We follow people. Some people do the same to me, but I can always encourage people, do not just listen to me. Do your homework. If I'm wrong and you come back on the show and say, oh, Mune, you're wrong, I apologize to you. Or sometimes when I say some things, I bring it back. If there's a little mistake, I try to talk about it to just fix it better. Now he said, you see, to show how Mr. Cummings a criminal, the document was signed on the 25th of May. No, on the 25th of April. That's when they signed the document. But the document to NEC, when Yombi went for it, they signed it May 19th. Yo, lying to the people. He repeated himself. Listen, the document itself got one other date. The main document was signed on the 25th. But the one that came from NEC is May 19th. Then the notarial date is this, that. Then the acceptance date is blah, 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 blah. That boy went on and on and on and on. People the other day, see, when you look at the comment, man, see his followers, his servant, his slaves, see them. Oh, yes. The same document, Mr. Uri said the document was signed May 19. May 19, that's when they signed all that document. The signing sheet. The signing sheet. Mo Ali was the one who went around to collect the sheet. It's not that Mo Ali went to pick up 5 copies, everybody sign it and bring it as a lie. Mo Ali, because they were on Zoom, Mo Ali collected from there, bring it all, collected from there because of the COVID time. They took that signing sheet and they put it on the document. Even when they amended the copies, when they opened it, they amended the copies. They went ahead and agreed to it, and that was it. You know, let me tell you something. Under the law, amendment is a change. No matter what happens, you change the constitution. But what they don't do, I don't know if anybody can re-sign, whether they got to sign again on the amended copies. Can somebody please tell me? Because we got a constitution of the Liberian Community Association South Jersey. We did some amendment. I'm also a signatory. I'm one of the formers on that constitution. When we amended that constitution, I've not remember us signing. We just fix it and arrange it, and we're still using the same signature page. So in fact, I'm going to open the phone line. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. The document was signed May 19. When the document was signed on May 19, they decided to go through it to see if they can do some changes. The lawyers came back to them, which Mr. Ure admitted that the lawyers came back to them and went over everything with them and agreed. So there was a page already. There was a signature page already done. That was the same signature page on the document. It was not a new framework. No. You don't consider as a brand new framework that everybody got to sign again. Look, it's a dead case. It's a dead case. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm telling you now, that is why most of our journalists and our people don't call these people to attention. Now, the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, look in the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia and see who did it. Amos Sawyer, blah, 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 blah. Amos Sawyer's name will remain on it. Whether there's an amendment done to the Constitution, their name will always be at the top, and that front page will always be the same. It will always be the same. It's not a new document. The amended copies are not brand new documents. What they did, okay, let's take this one, put this one, let's take this one, and the lawyers went over it with them. And Bernard Ure said, yes, we told them to take it now after the lawyers show us to arrange it and send and go and register it now. So because they have already signed May 19, they all agreed to use the May 19. They think anybody's stupid. They are the stupid ones. They are the ones who are educated fools trying to use us. My people, please, if you don't stand up, they will sell that country under you. Our children will not do nothing. Our children will remain stupid and poor. That is why, because the system is rotting, only a handful of people who are enjoying it. So if you cannot get into that system, just know that you will never ever get into it. Look at your life from Ellen Johnson time. Look at some of the Liberians from Ellen Johnson to today. They stay to the same position. Their life has not changed yet because the government had done nothing to change their lives. When the war was over, we had a small soldier first. They tried to rehabilitate them. They sent them to school and forget about them. They sold the books. They sent them to technical school or whatsoever. Some of them, they sold their books, and because no food, they didn't live with nobody. Government never pay attention to them. And why? CDC inherited most of them. They were the number one voter of CDC. When CDC took over, and I will tell you upon this water, that was my priority. I talk about it all the time on my show, and I mention Bella Yala. If anybody can remember me, I said it all the time, and I mentioned Bella Yala. I said Bella Yala is not a prison compound anymore. That place could be turned into an institution and put everything, equip that whole place, put a football field, a basketball, auditorium, everything. They got a place for farm. And voluntarily, you get the children off the street. They go there, they can learn how to be a mechanic, carpenter, masoner, and something else that they can use with their hands, and you give them 2 years. Other people who get a high-headed children, they will pay and send the children there. When their children learn, 2 years, they graduate, you send them to GSA to work. They will work and save and help the government. They will build decks. They will build furnitures for government. And you send them to, you send the mechanics to all the different ministries. Right there, you have created jobs. Those that want to leave after the 1 year serving government, they can leave. But while they were in school, you giving them $20 or $25, and you be saving. By the time they leave, they got a package to either go start their own business. And to buy chairs for schools. President Weah authorized that they should buy, and he won 1 million chairs for all the schools in Liberia. It's the president that the president should tell them. So everything that they want purchasing Liberia is the president. I joined that one. I gone back because it bothered me sometimes. My eyes just went on the show. I talk about it. So everything the president buy. You see, that is why today we got this trend called Zogos. Now they have turned to be, we call it disadvantaged youth. Some of them 35 years old. Some of them 40 years old. Imagine a child 14 years old when the war started. By the time the 14 years finish, you're 28 years old. 10 years, you're 24 years old. Then early 12 years, there's nothing. No man, no pa. They have turned to be a super criminal. That's the only place they eat. They eat on the street, they live on the street, they get everything from the street. And the government don't even care. And at the same time, they're on drugs. If there's no drugs, they use the human bones. They use this other thing. They're all in the graveyard, the human remains. They're mashing it, they're grinding it, they're putting it in the blood. They're going into the car exhaust, they're scraping all the smoke. They boil it, they put it into the blood. They bust the light bulb. They scrape all that thing from in there. That's what the children do. Liberia now is like a hub for drugs. People come to Liberia and transport drugs to go to other neighboring countries. Seriously. But government is not fighting it. The legislatures are not even passing laws to say this. We must crack down. Talk to the president. The president gave me his speech. Then you're talking about the president gave a speech that one baby, no force, no encouragement, no law and order in the country. All the president do is just to exhibit his flamboyancy and all his nice cars and whatsoever. Then when you talk, they say, "Oh, but the man can enjoy too." Who told you, especially you who live in America, that the other thing you see president can do? You think the money for the president? Eh? People, children being raped. People are dying. The government don't care. Then you don't want us to speak. You don't want us to speak. Then instead of us coming together within the same opposition, they're fighting. Because one man want to be president, the other people say, no, that's not your time, that's not your time, that's not your right. You must go with Mr. Man because this man was there for 12 years at his time. Is this a dress thing? Is this about my time, not your time? So that the problem that is the crime that Mr. Cummings committed because he want to be president. Now it's Mr. Cummings. Tomorrow it will be you or it will be your children. It will be you tomorrow. They're not fighting Mr. Cummings because every agenda that I have seen from Mr. Cummings will benefit the Liberian people. Every agenda. He's not joking about it. None of the politicians in Liberia telling you what they will do. None. They're just giving you stories. None of them can tell you what they will do, how they will create jobs. None of them telling you. Oh, this man, he just food in your, that man work with Coca-Cola, that sugar company. Because you yourself, you don't know. Because you don't know anything. And then the shameful part that the people who talking, they live out of Liberia. Every one of them sitting back. Every one of them sitting ready to go and steal. That's all. After they mess it up for the first time. Let me tell you this. Let's go to JB. We stay on JB. You heard about the mental steal first deal. They gave all the representatives and senators pickup. One minute, please. They gave them pickups. Every representative, 73 representatives, 30 senators, they gave every one of them a pickup each. It was not hidden. Ask yourself the question. If they can receive pickup, what the president and the vice president receive? There is no way you can tell me that the senators and the other people receive pickups and the vice president and president, they didn't get nothing. Please like the video. We're trying for the full. Tell me, the vice president receive a share. The vice president also receive a pickup. Now, all the little thing that happen, everything that in that budget, the vice president has his share. He got his share. All the 30,000 and whatsoever, the presidential project, they get the vice president project. The vice president too high on a share. You know, the Senate and the House of Representatives, they are the only people who can make illegal things legal. If they get up today and say we're passing the law on marijuana, it will be legal. If they say, okay, we're passing the law on stealing, it will be legal. But they are the only ones say, listen, we need to be paid 7,000, 5,000 for this one, that one, that one. So everything come to 15,000. They are the one who put it in the budget. That is the corrupt part of it. And all our children looking at them, seeing how they're living, within no time, they're living in a mansion. Within no time, they're living in a mansion. crossing deals, the representative receiving the development funds for the district, the senator get his share, everybody, before even they reach to the town, the commissioner, it's done. Yeah, it's done. Because the president too were eating. Even the information I got under the Ellen Johnson administration, every county was receiving $250,000. But the money that reached to them was less than $250,000 because some $15,000 will be deducted from every county to be taken back to the president. That's the information. Reliable source. Reliable source. So, some UP people, along with the ALP, saying that they rather see George Weah's second term than Mr. Cummings. Their fear here is that Mr. Cummings will change things around because Liberian people will be willing for the change. The only people that are not willing for the change in Liberia are the corrupt politicians. And some of the new ones, don't mind them, some of the new ones, they think that, oh, but wait now, if I go there, I will not eat too now. Because I got some friends who in the UP who supporting Boaka say, but what you get for me? What I will get if I go support Mr. Cummings, what I will get. That's what some of them are saying. So Liberians, get ready. Get ready. You ain't seen nothing yet. We will travel the country from left to right, east, west, north, and south. We will touch every Liberian, let them know. This president must go. He's not leaving Liberia, but he must go his time. He's a one-time president. It is not in the constitution that you must go two-term. Two-term, your second term based on your performance. The first term is the one that Liberian people gave you. The second term, you must fight for it. This president is using your resources. Imagine 4 years. 4 years you just receiving pickup for your for your county. Now, the man asking you to give him another term. And that another term, that means he's not coming back if he win. You think he will help again? My people, you're stopping it. You're stopping. Ellen Johnson convinced the Liberians in 2 years. That's why they took off for second term. Ellen Johnson did things within 2 years that convinced the Liberians that I think she deserved a second term. But you see, our people, the other man said, Joe, we must stay there for life. You know, our people, they are old people. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Now, let's go to the response. My people. Some people say, oh, I don't listen to Costa live. I can listen to it later on. Today, Costa made the announcement that Mr. Boaka will be speaking at 10 o'clock today in Liberia. Mr. Boaka will be giving a rebuttal or response on the speech. Liberty Party gave their own. And unfortunately, Mr. Boaka could not come out. So Mo Ali announced another young lady and said, Mr. Boaka said that we'll be doing it once in a while. We'll be bringing the youth, to bring them out and let them expose themselves. Because, in America, sometimes they still listen, my people. Listen and listen keenly. When you don't have, they got two parties. They got more than two parties in America, but they got two major parties in America that always on the ballots. When the Republican is in charge, or the Democrat in charge now, when the president speak, the Republican will look for one of the potential members to give the response to the president's speech, the rebuttal to the president's speech. Because you know why? They don't have standard bearer. Liberty Party don't have standard bearer, so somebody else read it. This girl, Coco, what he said, from District 4 she spoke to because she was pissed off. But I think she's an ALP, she's a member of the ALP party. But her problem is she joined the ALP because she believed in the collaboration. But I don't know if she's going to leave them. Unity Party, who you think was supposed to give the rebuttal? George Weah. George, I'm sorry. Joe Boakai was supposed to give the rebuttal. I'm not a George Weah or neither Henry. That when they make the mistake and they lie, they continue with the lies. Joseph Nima Boakai was supposed to be the one giving the rebuttal. He's the one who want to run for president. He want to hear it from his mouth, not to hear it from somebody else. He wanted to hear it from Mr. Boakai's mouth. Let he give a rebuttal. Yeah, that's it. But what he did, after everybody, Costa announced it, promoted it, and whatsoever, that alone tells me that Costa have been lying. He's not in no contact with the old man. Henry Costa lied. He said the old man tells him everything. Why Mr. Boakai did not show up today? He rehearsing for his testimony. Why Mr. Boakai have not shown up in public places? You see, let me talk to the UP people. When they brought Mr. Boakai to America the other time, these guys were smart enough and they put in a lot of 5 energy drink into his food. But you're in Liberia now, it's not easy. Why Mr. Boakai is not out? Why? Why Mr. Boakai is not out? Why he never came out to give his rebuttal? You have to bring somebody else. That's not the, you see, so it just tells me that if Mr. Boakai is president, he's going to be the same way because he don't like talking. So these guys will be so happy stealing. Look, my people, the position we're in now, Liberia need a hard president. George Weah said not even hard. To be frank, George Weah is weak. George Manuel Weah, President Republic of Liberia, is weak. Seriously. Lack of law and order, no discipline in the country. No discipline. No discipline in the country. Everybody do their own thing. Everybody do their own thing. But Joseph Newman Boakai going to testify against Mr. Cummings. They say Billy threatened Mr. Boakai that he will release all the conversation between Mr. Boakai and others. But look, let me tell you something. When you haul rope haul bush. If I take this pen and choke it under your foot, you won't be able to walk, but you will sit down whole day. If you want to pay your debt, you take the pen and choke it right on my butt. So I will be standing, I can sit. Politics, I agree, is not a baby game. We must stand strong. This election is not a free ride. The government going to do everything possible. And the government is already doing everything possible by using our own people against us. Using our political leader. It sounds foolish, my people. For us to, even if we don't want to be together, but we consider ourselves opposition. That's what gave Mr. Uri the right to go and lie on his friend that his friend forged his signature just to delay the process. And the government is laughing, using you. I swear to God. And Liberians laugh. Yes, Mr. Boakai will testify. Let Mr. Boakai testify. Mr. Boakai will be re-examined. You will have they will cross-examine him over and over, and he will answer the question. So they're bringing him as a witness. And y'all know that ANC lawyer that I know, baby, that not nothing to joke with. He not Serenos know him. He had beaten Serenos so many times in cases. He whipped him. Thank God we got the best lawyers in the country. Thank God for that. Don't let nobody fool you. Money is important. You know, it's just shameful. It's very shameful. It's shameful. Guys, please share the video. I got 80% watching me, and share the video. Now share it and like the video. Yeah. And I will soon put up the numbers so I can hear from you guys. Let me see the comments. Let me go to some of the comments. 59, 50 comments. Yep. Tix is great. Hello. Oh, Saba is back. Valentine. Precious. Okay. Agnes. James Colley Jr. But the country does not have a system. What do you expect? Expect nothing new, man. It's the same thing. Ellen Woods. Our president gave it and said donated by George Manuel Weah. Teofilo Joe. Okay, Teofilo Joe say ANC divided the Liberty Party and you think that Cummings will make it? It is a big lie. We will fight to the end. Okay, thank you very much, Teofilo. You continue to fight. You're fighting, you remind me of Daniel Chia. Daniel Chia bodyguard say we'll fight everybody that Daniel Chia say game a gone by. So Teofilo Joe, if you from Grand Bassa County, that's a good thing. Fight to the end. But you can't win it. You got to wait until your next convention. So don't worry. You can't win that case. You went to neck turn you down 2 times. You take it to the Supreme Court, they will turn you down because neck have already turned it down. So don't waste your time, my brother. Liberty Party, if you don't be careful and settle your thing, Yombly who disrespected her own officers by taking the turning over ceremony over to UP head office. You don't see that one. Library is getting better, my papi. That's truth. They're getting better. Good evening, Regina. How are you, man? Yeah. Hmm. Really lifetime president. Yeah, oh, the papi then said to my major, we are lifetime president. Oh. Not to be a nice guy on here tonight. I must say this clear. Since Christmas came from Liberia, he never got well until he finally died right after Joe announced his 2023 campaign speech. Wow. Win Sally, rest in peace. You just said something. Prophet Key said it before. If anyone can remember, I just don't want to talk about it to say bad in a negative way. But Prophet Key said that seditions already sacrificed and Win Sally. According to Prophet Key, I know you're holding a show. And he reminded people about it again. But I hope that's not the case. I don't want to judge anybody on that. Yeah. Cephas. Okay. Somebody say, I like the way they get. Somebody say Jackson should explain what he meant about this. So Jala Washington he check his sedition, he touching. Explain what? From 1847, the old people blessed today, okay? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what he's saying there. He said, explain the meaning of your post. Cotto Howard English can say, damn, giving cars back to chiefs. How is what helping the poor people? How is that helping? Look, even if you want to help, you give a whole county or a whole county one ambulance. You will say, oh, but you start from somewhere. We got 73 districts. The government could purchase of 73 ambulances. 73, they could buy it. They could buy it. That means every district got one. And you gave them two pickups. All the time they've been looking for car. And guess who receive all these things? All the people that receive these things, the government officials, are all members of CDC. You think we don't know? They are all members of CDC. They all members of CDC. So that the election and launch right there. Thank you. That is the best question. I was going to say that. You owe him no explanation. Let him read for himself. Okay, but Bajebo Fremont, he said, please tell us about Cummings platform. My brother, I tired telling you about Cummings platform. I've played it over and over and over and over. On the Cummings platform, just for the benefit of the doubt, on the Cummings platform, which I will play the tape and you will listen to it into details. Cummings got 5 pillars. 5. We call Cummings platform the what and the how. He will tell you this is what we want to do and this is how we will do it. The first thing on Cummings platform is infrastructure. Maybe you don't, I know it's not that you don't know the meaning of infrastructure, but when they talk about infrastructure, it covers a lot of things. Electricity, internet, roads, bridges, clean drinking water, everything is under infrastructure. That is how, when you bring all these things and they're doing it, it creates jobs. It helps create jobs. So people put in America, if you live in America, you heard Joe Biden talking about infrastructure bills. He's built for the last America have not signed that in a long time. That means the crumbling bridges, the roads, the train stations, the other thing they need to fix everything, and internet. They need to improve and air traffic. Everything is on infrastructure. So that's the first priority. Because why? But why would be infrastructure? Maybe you don't know. I know education is good, auditing, but if you don't have lights, you don't have security, all these things, why you worry about education? Because the people still need to go sit in a better place. They need to read. They need to be on a light. Then from there, the job creation. He have job creation on his list. And how do you do job? Government don't create jobs. Government create the avenues for people to create jobs, for companies to come in the country to create jobs. You know what I'm saying? If possible, the Cummings administration will always partner with people who come in with good money to create jobs in the country. That means you're giving us something. But I will play the video to hear it from his own mouth the way he broke it down. Then from there, we get agriculture. The agriculture, we're not just talking about giving farmers lay hold or whatsoever. We're talking about something where our national budget, the least, at least, will be 10% of the national budget will be allocated for agriculture if we want to move forward. We talk about mega agriculture. We talk about when they say they're cutting the rice, that machine will cut the rice. If we say we'll be doing cassava, it should be a mega thing. We got the agriculture, what the fisheries, the whatsoever, all will be involved in it. Then we go to education. Then we go to health. And the last part on his on his what? What I like is the inclusion, government of inclusion. That means every Liberian must have the right to work, whether you in his party or not. And that part of it, I can vouch for it because people that Mr. Cummings bringing closer today that are working for him, they are not even member of ANC. Some of them just joining. Then he tell you how we're going to do it. He's going to look for waste. We're going to cut all the things that we need, salaries that we need to cut it down. And don't let nobody fool you that they say, oh, the senator can pass their own salary. The executive allow them to pass their own salary. Because if the executive don't have money to pay the salary, there's no way you can do anything. The president just need to tell everybody in the county. So there's $70,000 cars that they're buying for senators, buying $100,000 car they're buying for speaker. It will cut down. We will not allow it to happen. All that unnecessary money will be cut down. But guess what? Mr. Cummings, actually, he's a financial officer. That is what he do. So nobody will push him around. It will be the first time in our history to have a financial officers, not an economist. A financial officer, he know about the economy, but he know how to create money, how for money to work. What is the priority? Which one is better? Or do you want me to fix my coffee to go to work or to go to Wawa and get coffee? Which one will be cheaper? You know what I'm saying? And government inclusion, he will get involved and he talk about unity, bring people together. That means art, music, all these things is important. Religion, all these things important. You go into the churches, you make sure the church play roles in the place. He will deal with community organizations because community organization, the government will not be there. Every community need a strong community organization to carry on projects. Government will help them. And this same God told us that no matter what happens, they say Liberians don't know business. If Liberian is given a contract and that person fail, the government will go after you. But it will not stop the government for giving contract to another Liberian. So don't go nowhere. I will play that tape for you so you will listen to it for yourself. Listen to it. That his platform, he will explain it better than me. Because I don't want to just tell you and you say, oh, they're not true. So listen to it, and I want you to listen to Mr. Cummings very keenly. Smart. Open your eyes, open your ears. Whether you're supporting CDC, whether you're supporting George Weah, whether you're supporting Mr. Cummings, or whosoever, be an independent person and listen to Mr. Cummings' own mouth. That is the 5 whats and 5 how. Okay? So listen to it.
Kokolioko, 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 chicken they grow for day.
The oldest republic in Africa. And yet, we're one of the least developed countries on the continent, and indeed one of the least developed countries in the world. And I say to you, my fellow Liberians, we deserve a better Liberia. We need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Why are we where we are? Most Liberian homes don't have electricity. Most Liberian homes don't have running water. Most Liberians are unemployed. These are things we can change. These are things we should demand of ourselves and of our leaders. We, as Liberians, cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders with the same kinds of experiences and expect Liberia to change. We have to do many things differently. And that starts with selecting and electing new leaders who know how to create jobs, who know how to grow the economy, who will prioritize the Liberian people first before they prioritize themselves. And this is what I offer you, the Liberian people. The other universal truth that I want to share with you, my fellow Liberians, is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And again, I ask you to look at my record of job creation, of success, of managing large budgets without one penny going missing. All of these things you can look at and compare to the other candidates. And again, you will see that my past performance and past behavior is a good predictor, a good indicator that what I commit to, we will deliver. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. Our next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our 5th priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly, thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the hows. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates expiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
You heard it for yourself. And it's all over the internet. If you're Liberian and you know how to get on social media, you should ask, go and research. And this girl asked me, where are you? But Cousin Sably, Cousin Sably, I live in America. Do you think I'm one of those who came to America in 1936 and still remain in America and never went back to Liberia? I got place in Liberia. I got family in Liberia. I got people who depend on me in Liberia. I was in Liberia 2018, spent 6 months doing things in Liberia. So I got people in Liberia. So when I look at my time, I just came to America. When you think I came to America in 1936? Or because you look at me look different, you think I look different from anybody? For you to even be brave to ask me when you came to Liberia, you sitting in America. And the guy who asked the question about Mr. Cummings platform. I think you see it for yourself now. It's up to you to take it or not to take it or not to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And this Gabriel said Liberia is getting better, my papi. Let give president let give president chance to develop our country. You see again how they really going to fool you. I understand they developing the country. That's why you took the picture. You see the picture, your picture over there. You see the background. The place is developing. That's true. Where you standing, I know that it's developing for true. So it's up to you. You got it all right, my brother. It is your right to support President Ria. It is my right to support whoever I want to support. If the Liberian people vote for President Ria, kudos. That you don't want to feed it. Not me. I'm not going to force nobody. Everybody survive on their own. There are people in Liberia who surviving. There are people in Liberia who dying. But some of us that we're doing it because we love our country, Liberia, and we're trying to stand up and trying to tell you because a lot of things you guys, you know, I don't blame some of you guys. Some people believe there was no light in Liberia before. Some people don't know what little, but I never experienced the Talbot administration. But I remember when we used to go in town from Looking Town, Christmas Day or Independence Day, they had telephone in the street in Liberia. They had traffic lights in Liberia, although the place was not that extra. They had stores. They never had iron door, iron bar all to the place. Lights were all over the place. Although they were in certain place in Monrovia, because certain part of the county too, there were no lights. In a certain area, people had their lights going there, but Liberia was good. We had a free zone authority that were employing a lot of people. They used to fix the pump oil soap, the pump and Colgate. They were all made in Liberia at the free zone. You all know that? We had Steel Raw Company in Liberia. Across the bridge, looking at the free zone authority. We had Uniform Company. We had everything there. But we push it aside. That's what they call that place free zone. It was booming. Jobs were all over the place. But hey, we can still get it back. So my brother said Joshua is developing the country. But you know, when you don't know, that's what happened. When majority of the people are illiterate, they say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is the king. We got a president who lied to us, who promised, instead of telling us what he did yesterday, but he promising, oh, we'll build schools in this place, we'll do this. But you gave him 6 years. Now the 6 years coming to an end. We've been saying that thing over and over. Let's forget about the president. You'll do it to legislators too. You gave someone 6 years. 2 years into his 6 years, he come back to you and start to promise all the good things and telling you this is what we did. We did this. Government continue is the job of the president to make sure Liberia is safe or if any development. But because you guys don't know, that is why the president taking all the achievement, all the glory from Ellen or whosoever, everything. So even the president won't give armchair. He don't want give it. Government is responsible because the taxpayer money paying for it. That's not the president money. The money in the country not for the president, but you don't know. So I can't blame you. But God will help Liberia one day. Liberia will get a better president that will change your lives around. Then you will understand how government will work. We'll get a never a better president or good government where we'll bring civics back into the school to tell you to know your responsibility and government responsibilities. But you don't know your responsibility as a citizen. We don't know our responsibilities. The government don't know the responsibility. The government control you and keep you into a bubble and put you there. When time comes, they give you little rest. So ask yourself, look at yourself yesterday and today. Some people better. Some people gone back. Nobody's supposed to go back. If I'm come forward, if I'm okay, either I remain okay or I can't go back. If things are bad, I mean I'm going back. How can you say the economy is good, but people the place expensive? Why you acting like someone also don't know? My wife was just in Liberia 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks, $6,000. $6,000 for a funeral. We did everything. We did the grave and everything just to go there to buy food and this and that. Things are so expensive. Eh? Everybody crying. People well dressed, they're begging. People well dressed, they stopping you in the street and begging you because it's hard. Some people don't want to steal, so they beg. Then you say the country good, and we see handful of government officials building. Then what you guys in Liberia always can say, oh, you in America, that jealous talk. George Weah spent almost his entire life in Europe when he was playing football. If George Weah was not going to leave from Liberia and continue, he was going to remain the same too. But George Weah spent his entire life out of the country playing football. When he retired, he went home. If I'm retired, I will go home. George Weah was not working in a factory or he had some big time job. His talent brought him to America and to Europe. So after he retired, because after certain age, you got no choice, you force. Some of us that are in the professional field or people that are working, you got an age to retire from the job, 67 in America. So you see that? Mr. Cummings worked with Coca-Cola for 20 years and worked with Pillsbury before coming to Coca-Cola. So he worked for over 30 years. And his age, he retired. He retired. He's not looking for a job again. God bless him. He's a poor man like you, coming from a poor family. He was not born with silver spoon in his mouth. His pa, a ma and pa never had it. Don't you know Cummings' ma and pa never built house too? You do know that? You know that Cummings used to sleep on the floor to his ma when they were together in point four? When he used to go collect his ma, something you think Cummings never had his own room. Huh? Cummings never had his own room. He was sharing with his family, either in the living room from a poor family. But God bless him. That is the example we want to show to you guys. Other countries around us today, they're investing in STEM school, science, technology, mathematics, because the entire world now is digital, strictly technology. Nobody worry about, in America, they don't worry about no 15, 16, 17 subjects. We don't have it in Liberia. Only one same school in Liberia was built by Mr. Cummings. Was built by Mr. Cummings because he loved education. He got a place in Caldwell that he 100% support illiteracy program for people who to cater and this and that, and he gave them loan. He don't have to brag about it because that is what he want to do. Even if you don't vote for him, if Liberian people deny Mr. Cummings, fine. They can deny him. It's not changing his life. But some of us, we have decided to stand with Mr. Cummings. You can deny us together. You either allow it or you can deny us together. You can say, no, we don't want Mr. Cummings. So I said, he will live with it for his rest of his life. His name will be there. Oh, there was a guy in this place here. But you must remember, that's not Mr. Cummings we're doing it to. It's our country. And we're only sending the message to the young ones that if you want to be president, stay in, don't go nowhere. Your future must be, because we think that you must be a poor man, everybody like you, then they vote for you. No. Your responsibility to leaders, ask them what they can do, what they will do, what is their agenda when it comes to education. Education is the bedrock of any nation, it's the foundation of a nation. You know what I'm saying? I understand, you know, the guys, there's something I saw they say, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. But these people who have elevated themselves, who gone to the top, they will suppress you because they won't keep you that way. It happened in a big country in America. They want to keep you that way so you will be able to vote for them when they read it. So they will vote for them. They suppress you. You know what I'm saying? People are dying. No security in the country. Then you say the country good. Then you say we shouldn't talk. The other one who just asked me about Mr. Cummings' agenda, he said you will stay in America and carry. Do I look like somebody to carry war to Liberia? Within no time, you have changed my entire statement. I said election, election brought war because of robbing an election brought war to Liberia. You do know that the election brought a war to Liberia. You do know that from the Samuel Doe and whatsoever that already took the war to Liberia. After people were disenchanted, they went in the bush and they started doing things. You do know that, and you're sitting, whether you're in America or whether you're somewhere. But the fact is that put your country first. Some of the things that we do in Liberia, some of you ain't do half yet. Some of you guys live in America, you ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing. They got people who built their mansion in Liberia, they can't even live there. They got people who get businesses in Liberia, the businesses just continue to go down. Taxes just increasing. You think other people just sit in America and fold their hands and say, okay, not because they came to America, you should be jealous. You yourself won't come to America. Who do want to come to America? Everybody want to come to America. Eh. Now, let here, okay, you're trying to say you will sit in America or something you're trying to say. But he said SIR, here in America and carry war to Liberia. It's not a question like what you saying. Who the hell can carry war to Liberia? Eh. You know, sometimes you want for people to look at it. You just stay there and be watched. I don't have to read your post again because it make no sense. Your post make no sense. Actually, I will not block anybody. Trust me, they will stay right there and watch me. Okay. Malcolm Va, he said, you sound very feminine, Cummings sweetheart. Malcolm Va, you know, I don't know why you say Cummings sweetheart. I don't know who you're talking to. So let me look at all the comments and then I will come back to you to know exactly who you're talking to. Who is the sweetheart of Cummings? So maybe you try to be sarcastic or you try to talk to somebody. You sound very feminine. Okay. You don't want any preach to your crowd. So who's you? Malcolm Va, you don't belong here, my brother. I'm telling you, let him behave himself. Malcolm Va, oh Richard, you couldn't wait small than sound on the thing. It's okay now. Okay. Yes, you said that a few times. Yep. Yep, Mike Davis. I will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow and Thursday by 11 o'clock. We'll be in D.C. Lot 15. We're going for a rally in Washington, D.C. If anybody who want to go, you can contact me. I got a bus and I will be taking us there. We'll be there by 10 o'clock. It's not a protest, it's something to let the American government know that the process that is coming on right now is getting tough and election is around the corner and we know what's going on. Some of you guys, look, let me tell you, when you sleeping, we up. We pay people in Liberia to go in the slum to get information. We pay people in Liberia to go to places to distribute things for us, to take pictures, to do this one, to do that one. And also people call us and give us first-hand information and say, talk about this. Because this is what you think the government got secret. There's no secret in the government. Your friend, my best friend might be your friend, and your best friend could be my best friend too. So there is no secret in that government. Everything happening in that government, it comes out the next day. Not everybody happy about the government. So when we tell you your things and say the government and we're brave enough to put it on the government, you think we're risking our own life for what reason? And lying? No. No. We know exactly their intention. We know the intention. The intention is to stop. George Weah want to be re-elected. Seditious want to be re-elected. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. Now, just watch it. You're going to see a lot of money flowing in from them. You're going to see a lot of things. They will do this. He tell you what he's going to be doing for the next 1 year to encourage you to vote for him. After 4 years, why you guys will be so naive and say that they call the president developing the country? What do you think the president responsibility to do? Eh? There is no security. There is no what a development. Eh? The roads already, there was a project going on already. These are projects that we borrow money already, and they started a project. They started a project. Let me tell you, I can name the president project. The president projects in Liberia for the last 4 years. In fact, though community road, forget it. It's still the same. They just put a little quota on it. When you walk in and there, you be careful, you're in the gutter. So I know the place. 2, one of his project is the one at Airfield, the IEO practice ground. And the other project that the one at the barracks. That's it. Everything President Weah met it there. President Weah met Honor Ellen. That's when they planned to Freeport decided to build a head office. It got nothing to do with President Weah. That's not government money. Freeport decided to build the office. Okay. LPRC decided to build the office. They're not President Weah. All these things were in project. Look for something that will change the lives of the people. Let University of Liberia there. People all over the place. Mess, shit all over the place. Water all over the place. I was big institution in the country. Eh? The little kid, the boy who does the national exam, my nephew, Nepe. That's my brother's son. He does the entire country. You got 40,000 Liberians, 2,000 pass. Then the president will take that glory to again. He don't want to pay his school fees. Eh? Look, Liberians, sometimes you guys, I don't know. For Liberia to change, it got to be on you. Liberia, if we don't be careful, will just remain like that. And all our neighbors will pass by us because of leadership. Lack of leadership. People stealing. You have a president who, when he was a football player, he was a senator, nothing we could see for him. He used his money. The people who supporting him today, Prince Johnson, what Prince Johnson said, that the same thing. Every day the president showcasing things, cars, houses. Ready? He make music. He's singing while Liberians are dying. 4 auditors died. That 4 family right there. Nothing came out. No justice. 3 children got missing. No justice. Where's the Solicitor General? No justice for the family. Rape cases all over the place. No justice for the family people. But that the one that by the time Bernard brought the case, that the one Serena Sifa put on her head. Yeah. That's the one he put on his head. So tell me, then you say the country is good? Then you say everything is fine in the country? No. It's not. It's not. So be smart. You love your country. Please. You're not the only person. It's not because we're in America. You think we don't have contact in Liberia? Your thing we don't? Your thing we in the country, we just live here and don't know how Liberia look like? Eh? Your thing we don't know how Liberia look like? Yeah. Our former VP, and I will remind you again, it was not a hating thing. When Ellen was president, when the first time they passed the deal for mental steel, they gave each one of the senators and representatives a pickup. They gave every one of them a pickup. It was all in the news. So my question here to you, if they can give the honor people pickup, it's all in the news. What they gave the vice president and the president? You think about it. What the vice president received, what the president received from mental steel. You think they gave the people and forget about the vice president? They all were in a corrupt boat together. They all were in a corrupt. They all were in a corrupt boat together. They all were in a corrupt boat together. But today, they're trying to exempt themselves. They're trying to say they're entitled. They are entitled to the presidency because even Liberian people don't want George Weah. Liberians voted for change in 2017. They saw themselves in George Weah. So I don't blame anybody who's supporting George Weah. That's your right. I don't blame anybody if George Weah not doing a good thing. You voted for him. I myself, I supported somebody. But you owe no one apology. But the fact of the matter is that if you support anyone and the person not doing a good job, tell them they're not your mother, not your father, not your nobody. They're not related to you. They're not related to you. The money they're going to get is not going to feed your family. So why would you be afraid to tell them the truth? Why would you be sitting down whole day and praising somebody who eating dry rice with big fish and everything, and you praising the man, said, wow, look at the man eating the, yeah, the man not to eat dry rice. Eh? And you yourself, you don't get it to eat. You catching hard time, you still praising the man. The man not doing what he's supposed to do. Eh? But we got a vice president now who want to go testify against Mr. Cummings. Let him go and testify. We'll cross-examine him too. Our lawyers be there, we'll cross-examine him. You see? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. That's a good one. That's a good one, Prince. That's a very good one. Oh, Prince, I see you already changed your profile page to win selling. Yeah. And the CPP chairman, who is from the UP, every party giving their own reporter now. The CPP chairman is in autopilot. So we don't know the word about. I think he's in missing action, MIA. And so we don't know where is he right now. And I don't know if they don't have energy drink in Liberia because they sort of give some to that woman. So we don't know. UP gave their own. Liberty Party gave their own. I think ALP, the representative spoke, but she from ALP. And maybe Mr. Cummings will give his own. So if you're waiting for CPP, nobody going to speak for CPP. Only the chairman can speak for CPP. So the chairman have not had any, what the thing he said, interview yet or press conference to tell us if Unity Party is out, not Unity Party or ALP. So we don't even know. And let me open the phone line so at least I can hear from some other people who want to extend sympathy to tomorrow noon. Okay. This coming election will determine if Liberia will move forward to peace and prosperity or backward to war and setback. PYJ predicted this. My prayers is the former. Is there for former, not the later. Okay. So you're right, Prince. JMB has played between his own criminal people. He is having problem to see who corner to be in. Let us pray for Cummings. Okay. Brother, go PP. Go to sleep. Ellis Cummings can never see or experience the presidency. He is not different from we are or the rest of those greedy people who are fighting for power. And Ruben Kelvin, I can't believe that you on my page, under my post, under my view, and try to insult me. These are some of the things we talk about, and you guys always do that. Let your post remain there so people will see how dumb you are, and you make such a statement. You know, so let it just remain up there. Let people see it. You know, sometimes it's funny when they say Mr. Cummings will never be president. Nobody can never be president. Only Joshua. If Joshua can be president, who can be president, like bro? If Zogo said will be contesting. If Joshua can be president, everybody can be president, Liberia. Everybody thought that the only person to be president, Liberia, got to be extra, you got to be this, you got to be that. And now I believe, yes, you got to be extra. You know, not just anybody can run for president. Yeah, thank you, Mike Davis. You're right. Some of them have a serious problem, so I just don't need to waste my time. If I will not put some of them posts up again, yeah. Or you know that, and on this thing, I got the power to to stop you from posting. I get the power. I just need to do a click, and I can see your first post, and I can make all your posts disappear if I want to do it. So some of you guys who want to be rude, or some people who just want to make statement, I can go right on your name and all your posts will disappear. I can block it and you will not see it. I will not see it. But let us be respectful and say something good. You know, say something. There's nothing wrong. Who you want to support, you support them. But let us respect. You see, Son and Christmas. That's an example. Do you listen to Christmas speaking few days ago, talking about life and death? But that was his last post. Tomorrow is not promising to no one. We cannot come on and start insulting each other because of some elections. Sunday was on and Christmas was a nice boy. Although he went after other people, he did things to people too. He insulted people. In fact, I blocked Christmas after when he went to Liberia. Something he said, I blocked him out. You know, no, look. Let me say this: death, you my enemy and you die, I will not be happy. Yeah, because and I just want to hurt my feelings. Like you see, I blocked a girl yesterday. She said, those of you who want to, no, the other day, 3 days ago, you who want to go protest in Liberia, you will get ready, your man will cry for you. I block her from my page straight. Tomorrow is not promising. Let us respect each other. Tomorrow I will see you. Tomorrow you will see me. It happened. I was in Philadelphia. There's a boy who always honor my post. He came, in fact, he insulted me. He called me names. He went far. He said, I'm a disappointed African. This and that. I saw him at the Joseph Boaka town hall meeting. And he was standing ready. I spoke to him. I said, what's up? I passed. When I passed, you know what he said? He told a friend, he said, oh, that guy, he recognized me. But then he said, I turned around there, I said, I recognize you. Good. You insulted me the other day. Hey, big brother, I'm sorry. Hey, big brother, I told you, I said, you cannot look in my face one-on-one and cuss me up. You can't do it. You can't do it on Facebook. That is how and Christmas are looking. Christmas could tell you anything on Facebook, but you meet face to face, he apologized. He's a nice kid. He was a nice kid. Yeah. So some of you guys come in, go pee and sleep, go do this, go do that. You know, that means you get some problem. I would never go on social media and start posting on people things, insulting them. I can't do it. If you see me, I tell somebody, even to curse you up, I will either tell you, say you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you purchase stupidity or something. I will just tell you something to hey, but it make no sense. It make no sense. It make no sense. Yeah, I'm telling you, Anthony. That's it. He came on a post and he just make his own statement and say what he want to say. You know. Yeah, I coaching most of the guys who don't understand politics and who just come on people postcard jabber and just make blanket statement, and so we're going to tell them. And yeah, there again. Okay, then Ruben, if you make a statement like this, you have not seen a patriotic Liberian, but God is raising one. So if God raising one, well, you who are you to judge to know who God is raising? So maybe the person God is raising is right in front of your face, but you still don't know. And you say God is raising a leader. Good, that would be good. I'm a born again, just like yourself. I'm a Christian. I don't know. I don't want to talk about you, but we all want good leaders. But let me make you to understand that if you don't know people, you don't just make a blanket statement on them. So to show that you are also biased, you said God raising somebody and it will surprise us soon. So that means you already know the person. So you know, but it will surprise us. And the person will surface. And, when he surfaces, what will happen? He run for president. Why he should run for president? You see, Kasser went there. He said God told him, God gave him a vision. That is why he running for president. So every Liberian has the right. The same Bible tells you that you should respect the laws of the land. The Bible tells you that there should be a government. There's a government on earth, there's a government in heaven as a Christian. So the government that is here, whatever you put in there, whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. You put a bag to president, that's it. How do you know? There is no perfect being. There is no human being perfect. We all have flaws. But what do you look for in a human being? What do you look for in a leader? Ruben, you can write on a post. What do you look for in a leader? What are the characteristics? Give me 3 major characteristics of a leader. And these 3 characteristics, I will give it to you, and maybe you might agree with me. These are not things that you learn in school. It's not decision. Decision is part of character of a good leader. But decisions are not right until it is right. So because we don't know whether decisions can be right, so it's not a priority. Get back. Be going. So honesty is number one. There's a book written by Jefferson, Leadership. The first thing in any leadership is honesty. But honesty is something you can see. You see character. Because I could tell you about honesty, I'm not honest. But character, you will see it. The character is something you can see. So when I talk about character, it's something that I do and you will see it. And then empathy. I must feel you as you look at you, as you look at a man in a wheelchair and imagine and say, how that guy in the wheelchair? I put myself in his shoe. So that means if I put myself in his shoe, imagine myself in a wheelchair, that means I will be very careful how to talk to a man in a wheelchair. Because there's something special. He's in a wheelchair, he can't move. He's disabled. So are you willing to help? But the ones that people that don't have empathy, these are the ones that who can look at you and spit on you or suck the teeth and tell you, say, move from here, you're not my type. These are the people that tell you you're not a type because they don't have the empathy. They don't have it in them. That is what you look at in a leader. And if human being as a whole, if you have such character, it's part of your characteristics, trust me, you can go anywhere. Because you see, an earnest man with a good integrity will not steal, will not kill, will not suppress. But he still make mistakes. He still make mistakes on the same thing, but then he realize himself and apologize. But it's not to continue to make mistakes, but he make mistakes. You see, sometimes you go to Wawa. The other time I went to Wawa, I left my wallet. Money were in there. I went to my car. I drove, but then I've noticed that because I left water in my pocket, I said, oh, I turned around in 5 minutes. I said, oh, Jesus. By the time I got there, when I told them, in fact, when I walk in, the guy said, oh, we're trying to stop you. Now, what she said, we're trying to stop you. You left your wallet behind, and everything were in there. Everything. It could have been somewhere southwest, Philly, or certain area. But don't get me wrong. They got other people who are honest in certain area. Places that you see and you think they are not, they. I want to face my camera, please. You go to certain places, they say that the ghetto, they still get honest people in the ghetto. They got people live in the ghetto, they don't smoke weed, they don't take drugs. But they got majority of the people that live in the ghetto can take drugs. That is why they will tell you, say, not all Arabs are terrorists, but all terrorists are Arabs. So the Arabs are in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So since all the politicians have damaged Liberia, they lied to us. That is why we don't trust no politicians. I was in the same position like you. I was in the same position like you. I had no trust in no politician, but guess what I did? I did my own research. Nobody introduced me to Mr. Cummings. I did my research in 2016 about all the people who are going to contest because I've already made up my mind not to support George Weah again. Because I decided when I saw what George Weah did as a senator, I was convinced. I don't need to stay there. George Weah know me good. He called me Mooney Boy. Like anybody who called me Mooney Boy, they know me very well. So if I wanted to be one of the same people eating or getting smaller job on the side, just shut my mouth and go along with the flow. But when he became senator, my line was cut right there, and I told him straight that I was not going to support him. I'm disappointed in him. I never hide it from him. Nobody will ever. The only people that sometimes attack me on Facebook or can't brave to insult me, that those that don't know me. But nobody will insult me who closer to George Weah. Trucon and what her name? Fina. None of them closer to George Weah will ever come on Facebook and insult me. They will never curse me. They will just say, man, you're leader, man. And we know what we do to that man. That's it. But some of you guys don't know. So when we're talking, it is my right to change. It is my right to support who I want to support. It is your right to support. But when you come on someone's page, like you, Ruben, you say, I go pee and sleep. I got weak balloon. I got weak stuff. You can't come on somebody's post and make a statement as if you're somebody who something wrong with you. This is social media. They're going to stay there for the rest. They're going to stay there. Even if you delete it, I will still see it. So sometimes we'll be very careful. Sometimes we'll be very careful what we say. You don't know where you're going to meet me tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going to meet you tomorrow. So we be very careful how we talk to people, how we approach people on social media. You don't know me, I don't know you. But if I'm supporting who I want to support, fine. That's my belief. And I'm going to convince you. I'm not begging you, but I'm convincing you. See reason. I had the same, like most Liberians got that problem. They don't know who to vote for. They don't know who they're supposed to vote for because the politicians lie to them. That is why Mr. Cummings is struggling. That is why Mr. Cummings said things. He's not a typical politician. He's a technocrat. He said things straight up. I will prosecute. He's the only man who said it yesterday and today. I will prosecute. I will audit this government before I take over. If I will take over, I will audit every sector of the government. And in my administration, if anybody make mistake, I'm not just going to fire you. We will prosecute you and we'll seize the property from you and we'll jail you. That is how a leader talk. You put it down and you set it. You set the example on yourself. When a man he said he don't want money for his salary, it mean that he want to steal. I asked the same question to him. But if you don't want money, the fact is that God bless him. He said, listen, I am a Liberian. God bless me. He never said that he rich. We don't want to say he rich because we read about him. When you go when you go on the financial market, put in the name they call Alexander Cummings. Go on the financial market magazine or the page or whatsoever, and just type in Alexander B. Cummings Jr. And then they will tell you who he is. Eh? But he will never tell you he's rich. God bless him. So he want to be home. He moved home. Whether he got a house in America, but the fact is that his entire life is home. He got the biggest organization, non-for-profit organization that are doing things for Liberians. His organization just recently gave $25,000 to teach Liberia. A group of women left from here to go home to train Liberian teachers, and they paying them $250 a month. He gave them $25,000. He invested into education. He will not be able to help everybody. He got to open a big company to know, to see. Mr. Cummings alone got over 200 employees. Over 200 employees from his house. We're not talking about his non-for-profit. So what else you want him to do? He's saying that if you don't vote for me, no problem. He said, let me give you one example. Where are all the candidates that contested in 2020, in 2017? Where are they? Where is May Jones? Where is Drew Mason? Where is Tipote? Where is Jonathan Mason? Where his name said Nathaniel Barnes? All the guys, 22 political candidates. 22. Who you can see right now? Mr. Cummings, the only man. Look. You know, it's so happy like brother before I come to the other point. Before, when you win election, everybody go home. They will go home and don't come back again until the year. Then by this time, now they sort of be preparing to come back. Some of them will come back in 2023 or the end of 2022. But Mr. Cummings, the only man who lost election, and the people who voted against him, he went to them and said, "Yo, thank you." He said, "Hey, I passed it the other day, and I promise you, I came to fulfill it." He said, "I passed in a county, and I say I was going to help you to finish the clinic. I'm here to finish it for you. Yo, thank you for giving me the time." 3 years into president, we are 30 and 6 years. Mr. Cummings was the only man going around. When they catch themselves, they say, "Oh, the man making name for himself here." That's how all the problems started. That's how all the whole problem started, my people. Then they won't go for convention again because they know Mr. Cummings have done his homework already. So no more primary. Then they start pushing for Mr. Cummings to go as an independent. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, General, how you doing, man?
What's up, my brother? What's up?
Nothing much.
Yes, give me 2 minutes of your time. Tell me what you want to say.
Okay.
Go ahead, say something. 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. I was listening to your show. You see, the problem that most Liberians are facing is that, more especially those who are at home in Liberia. The thing is that when people come on social media to say something, we are all entitled to who we want to support.
Yep.
It's not a crime. Even in the family, politics is something that is, say, in everybody's DNA, even in your home.
Yep.
Your brothers, your sisters. Sometimes the brother, you can't get along. Sometimes the father and the wife, they can't get along. So not necessarily means that they are enemy, But here we're talking about the country. So if we're talking about country, like somebody was saying, toward patriotism don't mean that because if the man doing something wrong, then you still support the man. No. But if you have the country at heart, and because of the country, you can say, look, this man is my brother, but the thing is doing all right.
Yep.
I can just give you an example. My firstborn, she was born during the war, 1992, in New Kuta.
Yeah.
Okay. We came to the States. We were 2.5 years old when we came to the States. the lady doing her master's now. Her cousin that almost born the same time in Liberia. And she in Liberia, guess what? She got 3 children. She ain't going to school. So sometimes when we say the thing, then people don't know the thing that we're looking for jobs. Some of us, if we give our life story, that we have good, respectable job back home, but because of the war we find ourselves in the diaspora, we start from scratch. We start from scratch. So when we're talking because the same very people today who are causing are the same people tomorrow we call you say, hey brother, please send me $25, send me this. So what we're doing here is that, is awareness. In order when when the president, if you're doing something good, we talk about it. It means that you're doing something good. When you're doing something that is not good, you talk about it. It means for him to change. So let me close on the point. Because most of the children now, because they were born in the 80s, those who were born in the 80s, they were like 9 years, they were like, 9 years old when they walk in. I mean, yes, because 1989, they were 9 years old when they walk in. So they walk over now, as you rightly said, they are in their 30s, in their 40s. So they don't know exactly what transpired. Yep. And those who are serving today in government, those were the ones that were going to school. When you mention people like Tipote, you say, where is Tipote there? Yep. Sometimes we need to tell the story. Tipote indoctrinated the students. Okay, when they were in school, like people like, you talk about Gonglo, you talk about Dr. Gonglo now, who is the lawyer. You talk about Nathan Tieye, who is in the house. They were at the university. They were recruited by what? By the progressive and the Moja. Yep. You see? But now, tell me for heaven's sake, a man like Cummings who was one time considered during Togo region as a radical student on LU campus, he is a representative now for what? For what county?
Your former representative for Bombing.
Bombing. No, he for
River G. River G.
Okay, but go to River G. What have he done there? And here's the people who were talking about the previous regime. Now they in power. So when you say these things, these children that came to Monrovia during the war are sorry to say we're drinking for in a camo, and the people have it thinking, say what? Now when you want to say something that what we say here is for their own, you're not selfish. You got your family here. I got my family here. I would say, you know what? To hell with Liberia, but we love Liberia. So let me close on this, when I met with 2015, I was doing some job in, Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm coming from the base, and the base is, Camp Perry. So I had a flag, a Liberian flag in my car, coming from the base. We had a flat tire, a friend of mine was coming from the base. They were going on the base. So when he saw the flag, I think he stopped. So he said, oh, man, you got a flat tire. I said, yeah, we're changing our tire, So talking from one thing, he said, oh, my man is from Liberia. I said, how you know he was in here? He was Marine at the time, in a Marine uniform. I said, how you know? He said, oh, my man, no, man, the accent. He's a very nice guy, but sometimes the politics, sometimes, it causes people to say things. So when I met him for the first time, the very first impression, he and 3 friends Marine, they came down to give us the assistant help. Take the tire, put it in the Jeep, and we'll go to the filling station, So my heart go out to a family, and then to a wife, And as we say, here's a young man who gave everything. Yeah, he has a future, but because of the love he has for the country, and he think that the president would, he went home. Today he never enjoy a benefit for all the suffering that you work for in the U.S. So my heart goes to him. So Liberian brothers and sisters, when people who are in politics, they are saying certain things, just cool down the tempo. Don't insult the man. If you not in favor of what the man saying, say, look, I disagree with you.
That's it.
That's American politics. When you want to talk about politics in America, the people, when George Bush became president before 9/11, while working at the Pentagon, the Democrats hit the ground that George Bush stepped on. But 9/11, 2001, you know what happened? all Democrat, Republican, Independent, all American put together. They support him because you know what? That's what they call patriotism. For the sake of the country, they say, you know what? We put our politics aside. So this is why, those who are in a political arena, when you see something, it catch me. That's why I'm trying to say this, because people who know me, I've never been in politics. I've never voted. I don't know how to vote in Liberia. But guess what? Because I was a professional man, I served 3 administrations. Because when you are not in politics, you are a career, say civil servant. You can work for any administration. You don't have to wear, a UP T-shirt or Sedition T-shirt in order to work. Once you are capable and you qualify in the area, any government can take you. But let us say the things that are good for our country. Because you know what? We came a very long way. As you rightly said, some of us want to go home. We want to go back home to enjoy ourselves and look at our children. We have our family back home. Look at the other day I saw you and your son, you're playing.
Yeah.
What about age group in Liberia? They don't have access to education.
Nope.
They don't have access to basic things. Look at my grandson, the labor just 4-year-old. The boy got a tablet. Because of the pandemic, they're doing their online, they're doing a study now online. You can just imagine. So these are the things that we want for Liberia, so let the insult those who are in the habit of doing it. If you don't like general show, don't come on the show. You're not forced to come on the men's show. If you are bored, the man saying something that you don't like, just say, you know what, I'm done with this now. I don't go at you. I go on Prophet Key show. Not necessarily means I support Prophet Key. He insult, do all kind of things. But sometimes there are certain things he say he talks sense. And Gabon show, I go on Gabon show, he say a lot of things in interest of the government, and there are times that he say certain things, So as before, in order for you to know a sense of direction, to know who you will vote for, you need to study. You can't tell a Muslim man, say, oh man, Muslim religion, you people that fake religion when you don't read the Quran. You have to read the Quran to know about the faith of the Muslim, the Islam faith. Then you can debate with the Muslim. You can say, I'm a Christian, the Muslim, they're not going to heaven, but you don't read the Quran. You have to look at the Quran and then look at the Bible and then you contrast. So thank you, for your effort.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, David.
But I'll call you privately. We'll talk because on tomorrow issue.
Okay. All right.
Okay then. Yeah, bye.
Okay, Adolphus Hill. You see, you say you are speaking your opinion, my brother, because ABC said his family was not that poor. I said his family were poor. When we say poor, going to CWA, it means that you rich. Mr. Bwaka went to CWA. There are a lot of Liberians who went to CWA. You think CWA was what? What people used to think about CWA that you could say anybody there. The Jeffield was an elite school. It was a method. It was a what? It's a Methodist school. Yeah, AME. Yeah, and what the place is CWA, College of West Africa. Going there, that mean you rich. Mr. Barker went to CWA. There are a lot of poor people who went to CWA, my brother. Some people went on scholarship. Some people somebody paid their school fees. But if you say, so what a difference, or Mr. Cummings were poor, and you say you are not too poor. Yes, I myself was poor, but I'm not too poor. I went to St. Mary's. I went to Bosworth. I went to Tottenham High. But I was poor, but I'm not too poor. My mom could still find food to eat. We could still find food. But the guy people, I mean that they were poor. I said Mr. Cummings from a poor family. He used to go collect his man Duca Flair money. When his man said the Duca Flair, people credit, they go, his pa was a priest. But he mean that he was rich. I said he was poor. And you say no, he was not. Mr. Cummings said he was not too poor. So is that mean that he was rich? Hey, Jesus. This other one now, if you're a lawyer now, the free case, because I said Mr. Cummings was poor. I said he's from a poor family. And you said Mr. Cummings said his family was not that poor. So, but they're not middle class because you're supposed to say it. They could be middle class, they average, at least they can find things for themselves, but they were not rich. They were not rich. He never born in a rich family. When we talk about somebody rich, you born when your father have you, you get car to go to school, they got everything. Then you say you born rich, you born in a rich family. That's not how he was born. So Adolfo Hill, no, this one, you can't win it, my brother. You can't win it. And let me go back to Bill Gibson. Although dishonest self-seeking talk would not help Mr. Cummings. Good. Bill Gibson, you put a woman picture there, but your name is Bill Gibson. Maybe that your girlfriend or maybe that your wife. But I'm not seeking nothing, my brother. If I was looking for a job in Liberia, I'm going to be working in this government. But I'm not looking for a job. I'm happy to where I'm at. Trust me. I'm happy to where I'm at. At least, at least I can pay my bills. I can pay my children's school fees. I can take care of everything that I'm doing. So I'm not seeking anything. I'm not. Maybe I'm just trying to protect my investment too. That I need good government. That when I go to Liberia, if I'm supposed to pay my taxes, it should be paid the right way. Maybe that's what I'm seeking. Maybe I want a good government that will be able that the justice system in Liberia will work for everyone, not for few. Maybe that's why I want a good government. I want a good government that when I go home and retire, I do my little business. Nobody going to be running behind me. I don't need to be looking on my shoulder. When I'm sick, I can go to the nearest hospital. Everybody going to die anyway, but I will not be that ignorant or be so reckless to put myself into harm's way. So we're not seeking anything, man. Those that are seeking it, they will not get it. And that is where the disappointment can come if you try to seek something for yourself. And let me go back to Ruben. Ruben said, Mr. Cummings don't have leadership ability. A man who came from nowhere, started as a manager at Coca-Cola. Okay, listen. You know, everybody talk about Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. That is not where Mr. Cummings started. Mr. Cummings went to demonstration. He went to CWA. He went to Cottington. He worked in Liberia to LBDR Bank. He worked as a financial officer. Then he was able to manage his way and came to the States and make a way, hustle, do everything. He went to Clark University, a very nobody know him Clark University. It's not a big time university. He applied to Pittsburgh Food Company. The people that can do the flour, the food, they can put on the airplane and whatsoever. He started with them and he went as far as vice president, responsible for the entire Asia with a budget of over $1 billion budget before he went to Coca-Cola. And when he got to Coca-Cola, Coke assigned, he applied in America, but Coke assigned him to Nigeria. His performance in Nigeria, they extended it to East Africa. He went to Morocco. He lived in Rwanda. He went to different places. Then he lived in England. They sent him to England to take care of the whole of Africa. Then he became the chief executive officer, vice president, financial officer for Coca-Cola, and also responsible for legal affairs. Y'all go and read it. God bless him. So you say he don't have a leadership ability? Yeah. I see what Anthony said is out of ignorance that this boy speaking. Yeah. Yeah. It's ignorance. Yeah. Let your present what? Let your present wait for his time. You know, some of you guys love to get on posts, but y'all can just be saying nonsense. I don't know what you're pressing. I don't know what you're talking about. Why, brother, with someone who cannot write simply sentence? Somebody feeling either all they say I say. Let he wait for his time. Oh, mm. Everybody will never be happy in this world. Liberia will change, my dear. Liberians are just relaxed with everything. Look at what's going on in our country nearby. Yep, yep. Good evening, Muna. How are you doing? How's everything? GMB never take responsibility for anything. He blames Ellen alone. Yep. That one you can take responsibility. That's him. The weakest link want to testify. Yep. Look, Yahoo, the UP people, if you on this page, you better don't be too happy for Mr. Bwaka to testify, because trust me, the cross-examination will not be easy. I want to make you know that now. When the lawyer finish with him, the Cummings lawyer finish with him, you will know what happened. Tomorrow, as I knew it, tomorrow at 5 p.m., Mr. Cummings will deliver his response to the speaker. And you're listening to all the response. You know, I wanted to talk about it. I don't know why you even put it up, Sir Anthony, because I had it not to even talk about it. Because a lot of suggestions and other things. We had a whole meeting on that. So trust me, tomorrow's speech, Liberian people will ask if that the president giving his own speech. Yeah. And Domingo Jackson, I got what you're saying. It's never late. But this is the problem here. If Liberians were fair enough, we would not have been saying all these things. Even if Mr. Bwaka want for Mr. Cummings to run with him, Mr. Ure was not going to come up early and say, I'm going to support Mr. Bwaka. Leave it with everything, play low. You can do beyond closed door. Let Mr. Bwaka engage Mr. Cummings and do the talking and go to the convention and say, listen, Mr. Cummings, if we go to the convention, if I win you, you can go as my VP. Simple. But go to the convention, let the process play. That's the beauty of democracy. Let us stop hand picking. Let us stop hand picking of people. Let the Liberian people decide who to be president. Let us stop it. That's corruption. We're talking about George, we are corruption, but the CPP trying to carry on a corrupt act by pushing somebody on Mr. Bwaka. That's wrong. That is totally wrong. Mr. Cummings has a right to run. Nobody said that Mr. Bwaka is supposed to be the one to be the standard bearer. Nobody. Oh, but I just, I know you're calling my other phone dead. Let me take this, or the number is there. There's a number, but please listen, guys. Don't call right now. I'm going to go for commercial quick. I want you to listen to this, and I will be back. I want you to listen to this. Don't call now, please. Give me. Okay, I want you to listen to Mr. Ure. I want you to listen to this. It's from Mr. Ure. Please listen to it.
Bring you greetings from the All Liberian Party. Firstly, we want to use this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings for his stewardship of the collaboration over the past 8 months. Mr. Cummings, we at the All Liberian Party want to seize this opportunity to congratulate you for what we believe was a job well done. And people, it's very difficult to control 4 political parties, all having ambition, all wanting positions, and all with diversity of views. And we want to use this occasion not only to congratulate you, Mr. Cummings, but to recognize your style of leadership, always calm and collected. Even when you are being attacked, you still exhibit that. So we want to congratulate you. We bring you greetings from the All Liberian Party. Firstly, we want to use this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings for his stewardship of the collaboration over the past 8 months. Mr. Cummings, we at the All Liberian Party want to seize this opportunity to congratulate you for what we believe was a job well done. And people, it's very difficult to control 4 political parties, all having ambition, all wanting positions, and all with diversity of views. And we want to use this occasion not only to congratulate you, Mr. Cummings, but to recognize your style of leadership, always calm and collected. Even when you are being attacked, you still exhibit that. So we want to congratulate you. Look, we signed a framework document. May 19th, the framework document was signed. Copies of that document should have been forwarded to each political party, because there were 5 copies we signed, 1 for each political party and 1 to be taken to NEC. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. I was informed by somebody in NEC. All of my sources in this whole process. It's a funny television show that people go on and make all kinds of remarks about people. And I was informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy of. I turned on my television one evening and I heard people quoting things from the framework document that nobody would be able to leave. And even if you leave, you would not be able to fuel a candidate into the elections. I was informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy of. Then that morning, I called my chairman and I told him I wanted a copy of all the framework documents that he had. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. He immediately forwarded them to me. I called Liberty Party's vice chair. I wanted his copy of all the framework documents, that he had in his possession. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. And both of them, forwarded those documents to me. I went through the documents and I said, wow, this is serious. Because the lawyers did do an amendment of the framework document, and they did it under our advice and consent. The amended copy, we have copies of. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. It still wasn't a document that was filed into NEC. Make this crystal clear to you. We did sign a framework document. 4 political parties signed a framework document. And under his leadership, he convinced us that there was a need to have lawyers look at the document and put it in legal perspective. We agreed. So the process began. The last we heard of it is we had a meeting at Liberty Party's headquarters, and the lawyers all showed up. Most of them showed up, and they brought to our attention all the major changes they made in the framework document, and they explained why. And we all concurred. Because the lawyers did do an amendment of the framework document, and they did it under our advice and consent. The amended copy, we have copies of. Now it was left for them, for the chairman and the executive committee or who are working on this document to have gone back and compiled the document. After compilation of the document should have been brought back to each political party. And the political party executive committee, we have met and approve or disapprove of the document. In the instance where all the executive committee approve of it, then the political leaders would have signed the document and the amended document and taken to next. That didn't happen. Because the lawyers did do an amendment of the framework document, and they did it under our advice and consent. The amended copy, we have copies of. And we must work together to ensure that we don't disappoint the Liberian people.
The document itself carries May 19. The document Cummings submitted, the type of the document, the date on the document is May 19. They signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document Cummings signing May 19 on the document.
May 19, the framework document was signed.
The document itself carries May 19th, while the notarized page carries two different dates, and the confirmation of receipt by NEC has a date that is different from the submission date. The document itself carries May 19. The document Cummings submitted, the type of the document, the date on the document is May 19. They signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document Cummings signing May 19 on the document.
May 19, the framework document was signed.
The day you turned over was the day the document was signed. They signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document Cummings signing May 19 on the document.
May 19, the framework document was signed.
The day you turned over was the day the document was signed. So you could have known, by all means, you of all people should have known, if such a provision was in that agreement saying that nobody can pull out, and if you pull out, you can't fill the candidate in your own party's name.
Yeah.
You would have known. But then
Definitely.
all of a sudden, you're sitting out there and you're hearing people discussing this thing on some show that nobody can take. The thing is an ironclad agreement. You're in it forever. And then you get alarmed. And then you send for the copies, and then you realize this was the case. What
Henry,
then did you do?
they were
Informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy.
Then I called next. And the question I asked is, do you have an original copy of the framework document? And I was informed, no.
I was informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy of a.
The right to remain in any gathering, organization, or whatever it is a right given to you as a Liberian by the Constitution. And nobody can take that away. No
And
one
you can
can
leave
force
whenever
you
you
to
want to leave.
Yeah. They can't force you to leave.
That's the Constitution.
And you've been referenced as one of the souls of people who actually killed that vision. What is your response?
It is true. That was my vision. From the very onset, when the CPP was established, was created.
It is clear that the CPP has crashed, has crumbled in the middle of a fight against your most powerful opponent. You guys are shooting yourself. It's one thing to go your separate way. So it looked like not only a self-destructive impulse, but it looked like people, it looked like people look like they are paid to help the ruling party to succeed. They're fighting the strongest guy, the weakest guy. Let's destroy everybody before we meet our opponent. But here's my question to you, Costa. You ask yourself the question: in this crisis, there are people who represent the problem, represent the solution. There are many people who think that you represent a problem in CPP, and that the extremists on both sides, on all sides, the four major sides, hijack the process, and the moderate will step back and say the extremists now have the largest voice. Their voices are drawn out other moderate voices. So they represent you. You say you don't have influence. Influence has transatlantic effect. You can influence in millions of miles. So people believe that Costa was a major player hijacking the process. His voice is a bigger voice that drawn out other voices, and you shift the things. And to that extent now, is there a sense of regret that, oh, maybe I should not have been as extreme as I was? Maybe I should have been more moderate. Maybe I should look at the future of CPP than a Costa subduing potential opponent who stand in the way. What is the argument? What would you respond?
Again, we're politicians. We're not in a nunnery or a monastery. Politics is ruthless. You know, it's a ruthless competition of ideas and interests. And so when you are in politics, Stanton, you use everything you've got to submit or to subdue your opponent. If it is a powerful voice, you use it to drive your narrative and your agenda. But here is the thing.
I got someone on the line, and go ahead, call your name and where you calling from. Give me 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes.
My name is Alexander Nimne, calling from Tufal, South Dakota.
Okay.
What I live.
What's up, Agnes? Everything?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Other last night, like, you ask your, how is you going? I said, where? They're like, more like, oh,
yeah.
Where? And try to watch it on DC.
Yep.
You know, I was not aware from the beginning of now.
Yeah, I know, because they play too far on Thursday too, yeah.
Part of that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, like, what happened to brother who share Christmas Day? Although we came from a long way.
Yeah.
And today, Christmas is nowhere to be found. This happened to our free heart. He's too young for this to happen, you know.
Yeah.
To Christmas. And my condolences go to the family, the wife. But one of the good things I would say, like Christmas did, to be able to bring his family here, to be able to give that opportunity too.
Yep.
You know, to really say thanks to him. But today, no matter all that politics aside, Christmas, well known, he started this struggle.
Yep.
But today, Christmas, we miss him, no matter what. He had his way, sometimes how he thought. But like today, you know, when I heard that I was to work, I was not taking it serious, but later on, that feeling came to make sense to say like, it's my own brother that feeling. The whole today, I was feeling sad to hear that Christmas is nowhere today. Christmas, no. Then usually sometimes like I watch the Best Gathering. Christmas sometimes he would stop by there, you know, and share fun. But today Christmas is nowhere. For his family, I say, you're sorry. But we just pray that the family will be able to come over this, you know. So that's one of the things I wanted to say about Christmas. And it's like, you're talking about the Fremont. I'm from live in the same state. It's a strong tradition too. At times he would ask me where he Cummings platform. So it was good, like he was asking you and you play that until later he walked away. He's one of the big brother too. I guess I have respect for him. But at times with me, we'll sit down because anywhere they see me, they call me Mr. Cummings. I say yes, then I call him George. We have to. And the name will have for one another.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, Mr. Cummings, how you doing? I say, oh, Mr. Cummings doing good. And it was good, to play that for him to see. I said, when he asked me again, I'll ask him that question. You remember when he went on the General show for that question, he asked General, he want to play that video back, So when I say thank you for the hard work.
Thank you.
At the time, his color will be ready to show your response.
Yeah.
We have to go back home, like right now, like, even some of my little brother then, as doing more work, and I continue. Although I have some of them, we all part of CDC. That's different. Yeah. We're all part of CDC. But from 2017, when I look how things were happening, from George Weah, from 2005, I banned CDC. Even I told some of my family members to vote for George Weah. 2011 all the while. But like 2017, like I look at it, I want to see. Because at the time, they still voting when I'm ready. Also, well, the man who even supporting, he will not even come and say something that we encourage. Although that law, we have that law from the beginning, from the soccer page, that community that came with some of her. And then later I started the person I was very looking up to, it was Benin UA. It was Benin UA because I saw what Benin UA, what he was doing in Liberia. But later when I think again, talking about all this in Benin UA cannot travel, I went back to Mary Jones. So it was Mary Jones that coming. But Cummings continued to preach the message, give the message to the Liberian people that have ready for it, no. And later I began to start convincing from my family. Majority of them in Masorado County. They say, but who is it coming? I said, no. I sent some video to them and say, okay, all right, Alex, although we support about today, some of better than they are strong citizens. I can't talk to them, even some of them are sending them to school. But all that, I can force them. That's the choice, I can force, but I can't go by. Some of them begin to people are why you been telling some of my big brother themselves. Some people are older than me. I talk to them, and now some of them are seeing where is this is hailing. Some they will copy, Alice, why you been saying about Cummings? We're seeing it. I think Cummings will be the real person for the country. Although we part of Georgia, but we'll see how things will be. We'll see how things will look. There are two groups, CDC and United Party.
Yeah.
But now I'm putting majority of them for that area, and majority of them is left already. Where it's with ANC, and I will pull more people. So they see the people talking that all Cummings is the day, but like 2023 will all be in Liberia from county. Although Maryland, I left Maryland. I have all of my auntie and majority of them live in Maryland. But I grew up in Grand Gida. I came up from Grand Gida. Later, I went to Maryland. I spent a few days. So in Cleveland before went to Ivory Coast from Abidjan. Was coming to the United States. So I'm still talking to most of the people back there. So I have those three areas, those three counties. Maryland, let's say Maryland, Grand Gida, Mosolado, but majority of my family, majority of them, they live in Mosolado County. So when I start this, we continue to tell people, we see the vision for Alexander Cummings. It's like money, one of the things like that happening, right? It's like you only have $5.
Yeah.
You only have $5, and you go to the store. That if you use that $5, you have nothing to use for tomorrow. Then somebody comes from behind and say, what you need? Say, I wanted to buy this book, but I didn't have that much money. And the person gave you more than $100. That is the situation we're faced with right now about Liberia. We have Alexander Cummings, who now want to take his pay to help Liberian people. We say, no, we're looking for people who want to pay, who will take half our money to put it in their own pocket, and somebody tell you no, you will take their money and use it on to little children that don't have it, who cannot afford. Then we putting that aside, that's some of the things that drive me to Alexander Cummings. That's some of the things that drive me to Alexander Cummings. And through Alexander Cummings, if he became president, how much the president are making in Liberia, everything will be exposed. So the people, they don't want this to happen. This is the reason for which they continue to put, oh, who is coming, who no coming. But they say, they continue to ask the question, who no coming. But at the same time, they call it a name. We don't know coming. But you say you don't know coming, but when I think you will say more things about coming.
Yeah.
How you don't know the particular man you're talking about now? You know? So, money, thanks for the hard work. Continue.
Thank you.
And then you can always be watching.
Thank you, brother.
Stand back and see most of the fake people that will come up with their fake information, their fake news. When I pay attention, don't block them. Leave them, let it, no matter what they want to say, this is freedom. Let it say what they want to do. Just leave them alone. When they tired, they will sit. They have more, they have more, show them. When they tired, they will just leave them alone. The more they watch it, the more they will hear them. At the end, when they go back, they will take them back. So don't block them. Just leave it like that. Same money.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, guys, you heard, which is true. He was a sedition. When you people talk about, they don't want to say I'm a sedition. DNA, CDC DNA is in my body. Look, Liberians, ANC got some members like that who just, no matter what you do, they just love Mr. Cummings. Some people just love George Weah. But a patriot, you don't fall in love with politicians. I tell you today, do not fall in love. I'm not in love with Mr. Cummings. But I admire Mr. Cummings for his platform. I admire him for his platform. So, because if Mr. Cummings do, look, I'd never join any organization that my voice will not be heard. That I shouldn't be brave to tell the leader if he's wrong. No. This person who running for office wants your support. They need your support. They need your advice. Yes, they are educated. They're smart. They know what to do. But it's a public thing. You can give them advice. You are the ears and eyes. So if my political leader that I want to support wrong, I should be proud enough to tell him, say, Mr. President or Mr. Political Leader, you are wrong. You made a mistake, and I think you need to go out there and justify it or to clarify it. But not to see everything is good about a leader. No way. Who tell Mr. Cummings don't have a flaws? Who tell you nobody can get versed with Mr. Cummings? Maybe he might look at you different way. Maybe he might cut his eyes. But at the end of the day, he's a decent man. He's an honest guy. Mr. Cummings listen to everybody. Mr. Cummings, people stop him and say, Mr. Cummings, what do you say about it? He will turn around and talk to them. Mr. Cummings, everybody who talk to Mr. Cummings, he will answer you. Unless maybe he don't want to answer. This man go through all kinds of interview. People asking personal questions. Today, people running all over the place. Mr. Cummings are gay. Who brought a gay business up? Obe. Obe came back and tried to apologize to Mr. Cummings. The women stopped him, and some people don't want to be bothered. He came back and said, listen, I invented that thing. I lied on Mr. Cummings. He confessed, I lied on Mr. Cummings. It was a sedition. Do you know how many Liberians said that George Weah was so gay when he was playing football? Do you know how many people accused George Weah of being gay or whatsoever? I've not seen it. But some Liberians were too brave to lie on people. We're too brave. I just look at someone and say you're gay because of politics. Because of politics, I should damage you because I want to win. That's not how they do it. That's not how they do it. And you see in this country, if your opponent says something about you, fine. But other people just coming up and saying things, it makes no sense. Even, there's certain things in Liberia. You can come out now and say, President, we are getting 10,000 girlfriends. It got nothing to do with his job. You can come out and say John Brown get 4 other girlfriends and he married, he cheated on his wife. But in America, if you say it, it's a trouble. That leader in trouble. But in Liberia, you can say the man raped all together. The Liberian people will still vote for them. You can say Mr. Cummings gay. The Liberian people will still follow him. We just accuse people with no proof. Stick to the issues. Liberia look like a country. The same newspaper people carry it. You know, 2016, all the things they were doing, 2017, they were afraid of Mr. Cummings. The newspaper in Liberia, whatever story you put in, you know what they said? Mr. Cummings, because they felt Mr. Cummings donated for over almost $500 million to gay community. Hey, man. You know, where I know Liberians lie, there's a company in America called the Taylor Tree Company. Taylor Tree Company. In 1997 election, it was published in a newspaper that Charles Taylor got a tree company in America operating. They put it a Taylor Tree Company. They put then not knowing, when you're in Liberia, sometimes you don't know all these things because people are not playing with computers and whatsoever. Those who had advantage, they were just putting all kinds of pictures in the newspaper, and our newspaper just carry it. Eh? Liberians, why we lie? Eh? Why we lie? The LI came from lie to be Liberia. Why? We just look at people and make up stories on them. And today, because of politics, is worse. And we got the real criminals. We praise them. We look at innocent people. How can you look at a man like Cummings and say Cummings a criminal? Eh? It's almost you telling me you work in America. Do you know what I mean by temporary document? Eh? So you want to tell me Mr. Cummings got that vision? Mr. Cummings can think about the future to know what's going to happen. So let's put in there, nobody can leave. My people, listen to me. I want to listen to me again. I'll go back to the same document. The document that CPP put together, forget about the lawyers. Forget about the lawyers. In the first document, they said this document is based on consensus. That means they have places where other parties can join. But for any party to join, it must be a consensus. That means the 4 leaders, the founding members, should agree. For them to do anything in our party, in CPP, they all must agree, like the United Nations document. You see, the Security Council is based on consensus. It's not a democratic process to say 2 agree, 2 say no, 3 say yes, they go through no. That is why a country like Palestine will never be recognized as a nation, because America must agree. If we live with another country, if we leave America a long time, Palestine, like Taiwan will not get that status easily because China always disagree for them to be a country by themselves. Because China say that country belongs to them. They see where Israel say they own Palestine. Palestine should be directly under them. You know what I'm saying? So we just sit there. Now, if you got a document, you said that for this document to break up, we all must agree to break it up. Wait, the document, forget about the lawyers, the way they set up the document, we all can come together and say, okay, let's break it up. But 3 persons can't break it up. Let's forget about the clause. Let's forget about the getting out or whatsoever. For us to break it apart, we all must agree. If I say no, the 3 cannot break it apart. It's in there. The exit clause, the lawyers advise them, if you want to be strong, then you make the document strong. So they made the document strong. And let me tell you something. Amendment is considered as changing a document, but you don't need to sign again. You don't need to get back and come and sign it as if you're getting a new document. So let somebody tell me. The telephone number is out there. Please, if you have any idea, because what I'm going to tell you now, the what the thing is, the Constitution of America was amended 17 times, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected. 17 times. But they never changed the signature. The same signature that the people started it. The same signature, they started, they didn't call it and say can't sign again. The Liberian Constitution, when Amos Sawyer did a revised one, when we dissolved the first one, and we did the 1986 Constitution, that the same Amos Sawyer and whosoever name is on there. So, they signed the first document. The document was signed. But when it was signed, Liberians complained. So they did some amendment. Ure admitted, y'all listen to it. Ure said, yes, we got copies of the amendment. Then what are you complaining about? So what they did, when they did the amendment, the same signature on it, nothing changed. It's the same signature. Nothing changed. Look, sometimes you guys make us look as if we're stupid. Why should it be signed again? It's not to go redo it. It was not for them to go redo it. It was not. Please, my glasses broke. The whole thing had broke. And this damn thing is expensive. Now I gotta go and get a new one. So when I put it on like this, it twisting in my face. It twists my face. I try to fix it. You know, why they think that Liberians are stupid people? We can't read. That is what the God continue to do to us. Instead of them talking about it. So let somebody tell me, if you're amending a constitution or a document, do you have to re-sign that document? Or you still use the same signature? Because we did an amendment on the Liberian Community Association and thing. My name is still on there. After we did it, we put it together again, we sent it. We just wrote in there the amendments and whatsoever. This amendment was done on this day and on this day, finish. Yeah. So, my people, the government had requested that Mr. Bwaka to invite him to be a state witness. It's up to him to answer the question that he don't want to answer. It's up to him. But I know one thing, in a case, my lawyer will also have access to the witness to ask the witness some question. So know that the witness will be cross-examined by my lawyer. So all this thing here, don't worry about it. We all know it's a political game. Witch hunt. George Weah is afraid of Mr. Cummings. Everybody afraid of Mr. Cummings now because Mr. Cummings is relevant in Liberia now. Mr. Cummings, if anybody, when a long teeth man die, you think he's smiling. So right now, sedition or who they can talk. Yeah, who told you? Mr. Cummings is not a threat. Mr. Cummings would never, he don't even have a leadership ability. No problem. No problem. Mr. Cummings didn't get leadership ability. No problem. But guess what? I got a song for you. In CPP today, that Cummings I want to. In CPP today, that Cummings we want to. Come on November, yeah. Come on election day, who Cummings will win the election to go to Zek the March to be our leader. A Cummings, so that man who we want for our president. A Cummings, that man who we want to for our president. You will die. If you're watching me right now and you are one of the haters of Mr. Cummings, don't blame me, my brother. Join the train. I don't want you to die with heart attack. Join the train. Be a part of a process. Be a part of a real change. If Cummings win the election, Cummings will be the first Liberian who make his money without working in government and president. Mr. Cummings can spend 12 years in Liberia government. They will not make him rich like what he rich now. Let me make you understand. Say, let's go personal now. Listen to me. I will repeat myself again. Mr. Cummings can serve Liberian government for 12 years. The Liberian government will not make Mr. Cummings richer than what he is now. You hear it? They say President Todmore was worth $40 million. You think President Weah have stolen $200 million? No. $300 million? $1 billion? No. They say President Weah worth now, he worth $27 million. What they say? Now what they say? Oh. So where he got it from? Now what they say, that they say. Let me repeat myself. Mr. Cummings don't need to tell you if he's a millionaire. He will not tell you. Or millionaire don't tell you that he's a millionaire. You ask Bill Gates, he will not tell you he's a billionaire. But the assets is out there. Forbes magazine will do the investigation and they know. It almost like Donald Trump, when Forbes magazine said Donald Trump worth $4 billion, he said no, he worth $10 billion. Because he says it's in his mind. So, like Mr. Cummings can serve as 12 years president. If Mr. Cummings leave that presidency, his money that he got on the market and whatsoever, in fact, it will increase. Seriously. The Liberian government cannot make Mr. Cummings richer than what he is. Mr. Cummings will not build no new house in Liberia because he already got his dream house. See the one he got in they say there's another one going in Magibi area there. Mr. Cummings don't want to get big house. He live his comfortable life. He's not showing off. Mr. Cummings is a man who loves cars. Maybe that's all he like and love good watch. Maybe you can tell from the cars he drive. You can tell from the kind of car Mr. Cummings using the time. He worked, he went home. Look at Cassette. All these people going to Liberia, they want to run, but they're still working. Daniel Cassette still working. He got an office here. Yes, he's the boss for the office, but he's working. He's the one that answering to the government because government paying him. But Mr. Cummings not working. Mr. Cummings money making money for him. Y'all don't know that? The other day, Mr. Cummings cashed out, I don't know how much millions of dollars, almost $20 million from his something. You don't, this is not a hidden record. It's not, it's an open record. That's America. You go to Bean Capital, check, go on the stock, go on Coconut Stock and Change and tell you how much. It not me. Henry Costa went a day on research. He said Mr. Cummings worth over $100 million in stocks. I'm not the one who said, but it's there. Just Google. You say Alexander B. Cummings. Go on the market, world market, and see who is Alexander Cummings. We should be proud. The same way Joe we are when play football. We should be proud of Liberians when they excel. You that watch me right now, if God help you, we should be happy for you. Running for president, people who know themselves. Mr. Cummings not running for president because he want to get more money. No. Mr. Cummings believe, and anybody will tell you today, even the Henry Costa with all our differences, he will always tell you that the best way to change Liberia, if you want to get into politics, is to be president of Liberia. Because the president of Liberia got too much power. All they killing in Liberia, President Weah can stop it. God first, but President Weah can stop it. If President Weah come out and speak and give a strong warning, it will stop. If President Weah come out right now and tells it, if I catch any Zogo, if I catch any criminal in the street, you will face the full weight of the law. In fact, you'll go and shut down that housing bank. Shut it down. Nobody will say nothing. If Mr. Weah get up today and call the police director and say, If I catch any car, government official driving on the opposite lane, you will not get a job again. It will stop. Liberians listen to the pastors and the leaders. You don't know that? This is not no rocket scientist. It's not. When Ellen came up and they said we don't want to see no motorbike people in the city, what happened? And they stopped. They complain. Boop, they went to the suburb, they went to the area that where they can just go instead of all in the cars for their own safety. Or in the street. We don't want to see them driving 10 o'clock, riding 10 o'clock. You can't see them 10 o'clock riding the motorbike again. Yeah. No law and order in the country. Broad daylight. Zogos robbing people. We don't like to use the name, but we'll call that name because we're getting fed up. But at the same time, government should go after drugs. People bringing drugs in the area, in the country. And they try getting high on it. If they can't get it, to go find something that will turn the eye. Look, it's embarrassing, but you don't need it. You don't need to curse him. I don't need to curse you. If you don't want Mr. Cummings, you don't want Mr. Cummings. You can't force it. That's all I will tell you. But you should see it for yourself. Yeah. Today, Mr. Cummings will be giving a response to the State of the Nation address. Tomorrow, you'll listen to it, and I will play it. I will play it on my show tomorrow. So I know it will go live, and I will play it tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow, and I will be in Washington, D.C. on Thursday by the grace of God. So UP gave theirs, but it was read by a young lady, which not bad. But I think it was going to be good if Mr. Bwaka himself was going to give it. Because Henry Costa announced it that Mr. Bwaka was going to give it. But that showed that Henry Costa and Mr. Bwaka is not in connection. They're not in contact. And so people are right now thinking what to do. They're looking for Tier 1 Gonglo. They're looking for Dr. Cassette. They're trying to merge. They're trying to get a plan B. But let me tell you today, your plan B should be your plan A to be successful. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to end our Costa show to see how Costa lied to people. And he was on there. One of the things he said, Mr. Cummings promised Mr. Bwaka to be ambassador. My people, Mr. Bwaka, even if Mr. Cummings appoint Mr. Bwaka ambassador, I will get vexed with Mr. Cummings that disrespect. Where in the world Mr. Cummings will promise Mr. Bwaka, say, I will make you ambassador when I win? That is pure disrespect. Disrespect. It will never happen. And if Mr. Bwaka take it, who do know? And Mr. Bwaka took 2,000 out from George Weah. He took 2,000 out from George Weah. Yeah. How are you, ma? How are you? Everything? Oh, I'm okay, Titi. Okay, guys. I guess that everybody and have listened to me. We got to keep the other one for tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be on, and I will be going live from Washington, D.C. I will be going live from there. So you can rest assured things will be okay. I'll be going live from Washington, D.C. Yeah. So let me end the Costa, lies he was giving. Let me just end it on spoon. You're listening to him again. You're listening to this boy.
I did nothing beyond saying what I felt was right. For a long time, you never heard me making noise. But when they infighting, all I did was to defend and promote my candidate. Did I say some serious stuff? Of course I did.
So H, let me ask you a question now. Why should the Liberian people trust the new arrangement? Why should the Liberian people build their hope again after you guys broke their heart? Why?
Stanton, let me tell you something. This is politics. The people who support us still support us.
Will trust you. The new arrangement with which group?
The UP is going to leave, yes.
Okay, thank you.
But they are going to leave. Some of us will push to ensure that on the onset of the formation of this new political arrangement, it is made unambiguously clear that Joseph Human Boakai will be our candidate for president. At the very beginning, Stanton. If you like it, you join us. You don't like it, you don't join us.
So Joe Boakai did not condemn tribalism because Joe Boakai is a sadistic, unrepentant, unapologetic, tribalistic old man. That is what Joe Boakai is, and that is the only thing Joe Boakai knows how to do because he exploits tribalism. So, well, I say, I guess. Not going to change. Joe Boakai has no fresh ideas. Joe Boakai is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking, and I cannot support a dead man walking.
If you have presidential aspiration, you're going to have to wait. But Joe Boakai, it will be stated very clearly at the very beginning before you join us. And it will be stated in our manifesto or our arrangement, our framework document. It will be stated clearly that he is the candidate. And so the position for standard bearership would be already occupied from the.
So Joe Boakai did not condemn tribalism because Joe Boakai is a sadistic, unrepentant, unapologetic, tribalistic old man. That is what Joe Boakai is, and that is the only thing Joe Boakai knows how to do because he exploits tribalism. So, well, I say, I guess. Not going to change. Joe Boakai has no fresh ideas. Joe Boakai is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking, and I cannot support a dead man walking.
In the midst of all this confusion, in the midst of this implosion, how is it he's been silent, and what does that say?
The case of the ALP is no longer a CPP case. Benana Ure and his party, our party, has pulled out, gentlemen. It is not Joe Boakai's. Joe Boakai has no fish to fry in this oil standard.
Your party didn't pull out of the CPP. There is nothing written that you guys have left the CPP. Your party made a request to leave through your chairman. Am I correct?
No, you don't. You are wrong.
Show me something that you left CPP.
Stanton.
Yeah.
Our party has pulled out. We left. The CPP, like every marriage or union or arrangement, falls under the jurisdiction of the Liberian Constitution, which allows you to freely associate and freely.
What do you have to show to the Liberian people that we have left the CPP?
We have left the CPP, and we are communicating with the National Elections Commission to inform them officially that we have left.
No, you put in a request to leave. That's the
press release. You don't put in a request, Stanton. You're using the wrong diction.
Do you know? I can read that. No. Ish. I can read your letter to you. Your letter from your party instructing your chairman
to leave. Nope. We did not make a request to leave.
The last press statement that we received from ALP, you instructed your chairman that he should withdraw ALP from CPP.
And where the decision and the vote was taken to pull out, then the executive committee communicated with the national chairman of our party to inform me to initiate the proceedings to pull us out. Who then writes the NEC to say our party is withdrawing from the CPP. So that is
what's the letter to the NEC? What's the letter to the NEC? Once again, do you have anything written to Joseph Yeman Boakai as chairman for CPP or the National Election Commission to tell us today that you are all of CPP? to show to the Liberians today that you are all of CPP?
Yes.
Are you saying, therefore, that boycott could go alone towards WIA and win by himself?
We're not going alone. We're forming a team.
Okay. So, Costa, I'm going to take a detour and then come back to our path. Are you still going to run for Mosserado County's senatorial seat in 2023?
I'm not focused on that right now, and I will not speak to that right now. I have not decided.
Because what I see is the confidence with which you used to talk about it. That confidence has diminished. You think it's going to be an uphill battle? It's going to be a difficult fight?
My confidence has not shaken by 1 inch. It has not diminished. All I'm doing right now is because the Bwaka camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency than on my own bid. If I were to redirect my focus to my own bid for senator, at this point, it would undermine the real big picture, which is taking the executive mansion and helping to make Joe Bwaka president. So I'm simply focused on that now, as opposed to my own political interest.
Second question is, obviously, for any contender or potential contender against you in 2023, who says since Joseph Boakai, issues will be as significant as time inches closer, it means that he's not going to run, and they will be right. They will be in their right mind, because you're going to be as significant to Boakai campaign from now to 2023. And the more when that moment inches closer, it means that you're not going to run. So the takeaway is, I'm not going to run because I'm going to focus on Joseph Boakai, or I'm not going to run. I did not say that.
It's because the Boakai camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency. It's because the Bwaka camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency. It's because the Bwaka camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency than on my own bid. If I were to redirect my focus to my own bid for senator, at this point, it would undermine the real big picture, which is taking the executive mansion and helping to make Joe Bwaka president. So, but I have not made I have decided at this point right now, I'm waiting. But Stanton, let me break another thing to you. And I'm an insider. Stanton, let me break another thing to you. And I'm an insider. I'm very close with Joe Bwaka. I'm one of his confidants, and he calls me that. I'm not the one who calls myself that. I will tell you this. And because I'm a confidant, there are many things he tells me that I cannot say here. But I'll say this to you. And there are many things he tells me that I cannot say here. But I'll say this to you. There was a time. If Alice Cummings had accepted to say, look, Joe, you're my older brother. I've known you for many years. I've got lots of respect for you. You ran, you came second place with 500,000 votes. I came fifth place with 112,000 votes. You've been in this thing for 25 years. I just came in 2016. I have money. You don't have money, but you got the people, and I'm just coming. Let's pair up together and form one ticket and run together. You win this thing, you serve one term, you know you're much older than I am. You do one term, I'm younger, I can take over, and I can continue. If you decide to enter politics today, you think just because of your money, you should trump the other people who've been around much longer than you, more popular than you, who have a team more political gravitas than you. Reverend Martin, you think that's the way it works in any sector? Seniority counts. You can come and tell the man who's been around for 25 years, who got 500,000 votes, and you got 100,000 votes, and you tell him to abandon his ambition for you, because the only thing you bring to the table, you have money. So there was a time, if they had had that understanding, if Cummings had made that proposition to Joe Bwaka, they would have formed a ticket, and not even Henry Costa could do anything about that, Reverend Martin. Not even Henry Costa could dare act stupid to criticize Joe Bwaka or to attack such a ticket. That ticket would have been able to beat George Weah first round.
Process, what you say is a level playing field. That you are basically saying the process is rigged in favor of one person, Why would Cummings go to a process? He declared he wants to be president and then say, I want to be vice president. You said there was a framework process where you go through first you go through the consensus by the political leaders, you go through a VPS and go through a primary convention. Why would you invite somebody into a level playing field into a process that's supposed to be free and fair, and you tell them to relinquish their ambition for you? So it means that you should have, go back to you. So you basically you went to a process that were not honest. You basically wanted this guy to say, okay, at the end of the day, I'll be vice president. The other person. So what I'm trying to say is that your argument is chronically flawed, because what it says to me is that it was not an honest process. It's what you were thinking, but you decided to say we're going to fake and pretend there's going to be a level playing field, and then we're going to have a coronation. There's not going to be a competition. We're just going to have a coronation and crown one person king and crown the other person as a messenger.
Let me ask you a question, Katama.
Right.
And Katama, my brother, Katama. Listen, gentlemen, let's be realistic. This is life. Mama, let's be realistic. This is life. You look at a man who got 500,000 votes, who got greater name recognition than you, and look at you.
Him.
Listen,
of course I want.
We don't need to tell you.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute.
You want me to answer the question, guys?
Yeah, answer the question.
They made a mistake.
Okay, that's
people at the very onset made a mistake.
Okay,
so even say that the man who came second place should be considered equal with the man who came fifth place or sixth place, it was a blunder.
I mean, ALP is out. Then why ALP suing Cummings? They are out of CPP. Let it go.
We don't need to be in CPP to sue Cummings. Cummings took the signature page from the first agreement they signed on May 19th.
It's all CPP now.
The post signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document Cummings signing May 19th on the document.
Cummings took the signature page from the first agreement they signed on May 19th.
It's all CPP now.
May 19th, the framework document was signed.
The document itself carries May 19th, while the notarized page carries 2 different dates, and the confirmation of receipt by NEC has a date that is different from the submission date. The document itself carries May 19th. The document Cummings submitted, the type of the document, the date on the document is May 19th.
We're not suing for alterations.
Your lawsuit is not talking about forgery on the signature page.
No, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about alterations, Stanton. You haven't read
No. That go back to the rate of arrest, Costa.
Our lawsuit is talking about the forgery.
Your lawsuit is talking about the exit clause. Serena Seaforth included something that is so wrong on the rate of arrest. They are talking about the exit clause.
You're not a lawyer.
Katamba brought something important out. He said there was a weasel in terms of how you guys started. Look at how this suit has popularized Cummings in the eyes of many.
Popularized Cummings. Cummings was sort of sit on there like Henry Costa. There are pictures of Costa in handcuffs. Pictures of Henry Costa sitting on a prisoner bench. There are pictures of Henry Costa going to prison.
Is that what you want from Cummings?
Okay, there was no sound. So you listen to all the lies, all the lies, all the lies. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Share the video and let us have a blessed day. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm off tomorrow. I will be coming on tomorrow again. Maybe tomorrow. I have some stuff to do. I will come up in the evening. Thank you very much. And God bless you. And I will leave this song with you, Kapow, Kapow. This was the song that the late Christmas City loved to play. And that's a nice song.
Bye.